guapi. All
You're
right.
good, guapi.
You've always been the good guapi, but you do some bad guapi stuff too.
Guapity doppity do.
Oh my god.
Guapity
Am I choppy or am I guapi?
You're guapi, choppy. No, you're
Guapi wappy do. Where are you? We can barely see you.
open the
Oh
car door,
Oh my
man.
gosh, guys. Can I just update all of the subscribe? No, the light doesn't get any better.
Guapi, you're gonna have to talk slow and not
guys,
move.
I'm with my mom because my mom's like single and like she wants to take in the new year with her son. I'm an only child and I'm my mom's only kid. So I sacrificed a good, nice background and a consistent Wi-Fi connection to be with my mom, but I will not miss AA though. So I'm in the car right now, guys, if anybody's wondering.
You know what? I'm with my mom too, but I'm not going to make up any excuses.
He's her wingman.
I'm her wingman. It's tough out there when you're a woman with a mustache. You got to have a wingman.
Yeah.
I hear it, man. Zero excuses, guys. I didn't bring Auctions Anonymous back for excuses, guys. Zero excuses.
Oh, we're not making excuses. These are just reasons.
Reasons are very different than excuses.
Yeah, much different.
Can you guys see me right now?
Oh yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, we see you, Rob.
For some reason I can't see you guys right now. I gotta fix this.
I can see you.
How many
and I can
fingers
see
am I
you,
holding up, Rob?
I cannot see any, so I hope it's not one.
Rob. 1 + 1. To give you a hint.
Oh, you.
For some reason, only right now I'm in the dictionary. I'm very confused.
You want to leave and come back in, Rob?
I might have to.
Rob is having technical difficulties, people. Please stand by.
I hear you guys fine though.
This is where we need those lines going.
We see you and hear you perfectly.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
You're fine, Rob. Don't do anything embarrassing. We see you clear.
Oh no. What?
Don't do anything embarrassing like go partying with your mom tonight.
Party with my mom.
Whatever, Jeremy.
My mom's too cool.
Your mom is awesome. Anybody would be lovely to party with your mom.
Well, it's not like, I mean, we're at her friend's house. We're not like partying, but like we're bringing in the new year together. You know,
your mom's friend is awesome. Anybody would be lucky to party with your mom's friend. I don't know his mom or his mom's friend.
I don't either. Rob?
I'm not cool enough to hang out with them. They won't let me. So, I didn't really want to bring it up, but since you guys did.
It's another New Year's, and I'm just sitting at home.
I go, Guapo, can I go to the party? And he's like, well, my mom says you're not cool enough. She watched your YouTube channel, and really, she gave you a thumbs down.
Well,
That's not
they told me I could come to the party, but then they gave me some bogus address in Indiana somewhere. Are you in Indiana, Guapo?
no, I sent you Uncle Bono's address.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should have gone along with your Uncle Bo.
That's the after party.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the after party.
Yeah,
So
by the
are
time
we?
you get there.
I have to find a ball to drop in 3 hours. Hang on.
I got two around here. Oh, there they are, right down there.
Well,
every year they drop a little lower, I heard, Jeremy.
4 minutes in, and we're done. No monetization for me.
No monetization,
No commercials.
guys.
Nope.
That's it.
We made it 4 whole minutes into this live stream, and Jeremy's
It's actually like a little bit past 4 minutes, but we're not. Who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting?
Oh man,
They drop a little lower every year.
Hey, I had my hernia surgery. There's no drop in there.
in my defense, I know you guys probably didn't see my video today, but I tried whiskey that was sealed from 1948.
How was it?
72-year-old whiskey, Canadian Club. We popped the seal and we did a New Year's shot of it. And it was the smoothest whiskey I ever had in my life, to be honest with you. 72 years old. That's the only reason I drink. I'm not a whiskey drinker. I'm not a drinker, but it's been such a crazy year. I've been holding that bottle for a special occasion just to say, well, I drank 70-some-year-old whiskey, you know, and it was good.
That's
So
crazy, man.
You didn't just find that in a storage unit yesterday. How long have you had the whiskey?
I would say probably I've had that bottle probably for 5 to 6 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I was just waiting for a special occasion. I mean, you know, I don't drink. Did you
find it in a storage unit?
I think I got it out of a house clean out. I can't remember exactly where I got. I'm pretty sure it was a house clean out. And I was just like, this was bottled in 1948, you know. They had still had the tax stamp on there. 1948 tax stamp.
Wow.
And I was just like, that's amazing. And the one guy told me it was probably worth, he said a few $100, maybe more. Just depends on who. The thing was this Canadian Club Mist or something like that.
Thank you, Service
There goes Service Chihuahua again.
Woo, thank you.
I love you.
Did you ever say all? Let me say shelling.
Did somebody say shelling? We did. We did really good shelling. Really good. We've got a lot. We just don't have the tree yet to put the shells around. So one of the things that we shared on our channel is that since we're in Florida now, and there's no doubt we're going to collect shells. Shells are worth money, just like anything else. Just like we teach you Petoskey stones. We're going to go out shark's teeth hunting tomorrow with Paleo Chris and Wild Kyle. And there's just a lot of crazy things that are worth money that most people don't understand. And shelling is one of those things. And it's free. I mean, the ocean just spits it up. But we just don't have the property yet to put all the shells around. But we had the one day it was freezing cold. It was so cold we didn't even film because I couldn't even feel my hands and my feet anymore. In Florida, because the wind coming off of the ocean was just so intense. I mean, my hands were starting to the point where I couldn't even bend them anymore. But we got some awesome shells.
In Florida, you were freezing. Didn't you go down there to get away from that?
Well, here's the thing. No ice, no snow. I would have taken a day freezing in Florida over a day in freezing in Ohio any day. It was beautiful. Finding something on the beach. It was amazing. It was fun.
Huh. I would have thought, because I've got, other friends that go to Florida, and they're always good for a phone call. Usually around this time of year, maybe January, February, it's, like 10 below zero here in a wind chill and a foot of snow. And, I rode my bike to the beach today. And, it was chilly. I had to put on a sweater. It got down to 60, Just
yeah.
Stupid.
The silly
phone and
it's I can't encourage you guys enough the opportunities that exist here, that you guys need to all get down here as fast as possible.
Yeah, well,
as possible. That's the key word. Fast as possible. Definitely don't, up and leave. Not everybody has that leisure, Jeremy. So I already told you, man. As soon as my affairs are in order, man, I'm down there. Actually, we were talking about it to my mom's friend's daughter. They're actually leaving to Florida on the 3rd. Spontaneous move. Just figured kind of like the same concept that, weather isn't a factor. There's more opportunities out there.
Well, have they been watching Jeremy, or what made him decide to do that? I mean, they're
up and just left, kind of similar to how Jeremy did. Just kind of just up and left. And I don't blame them though, because there's so many different
planned out move. Yeah, it was a very strategic business move.
Well, you didn't just wake
I
up in the
woke up
morning and
one
say, hey,
day
let's go
and
to
Jeremy
Florida.
calls me and says, yeah, Jeremy calls me and goes, I'm in Florida. I'm not going to be back for a while. I'm like, okay. Nah, I'll just play.
Oh yeah, you're right. That actually is pretty much what I did. But it fits in with a good business move.
Just out of curiosity, Jeremy, what would you do if any one of us called you up, 3:00 in the afternoon and say, hey, we're in Florida. You got a place for us to stay? we're like
I would
15 minutes away.
There's a Walmart 15 minutes from here. We can get a tent, and trust me, you're gonna love it. You'll be fine.
I tried.
But once we get the property, so here's an update. Here's an update on the property. Okay. So when we put in an offer on the property and the property offer was accepted, it was stressed that everything needed to move as fast as possible. And we were promised by the title company that they would move the paperwork as fast as possible. Well, that just was not happening. That wasn't the case. Closing date was set for December 23rd. The 6 kids that had to agree to sell the property because it went into the trust of their mom. Dad passed away, then mom, and then it's in a trust. And so 6 kids had to agree, which was a little bit of a headache, but they live all over the place. They didn't even get the paperwork until the 21st, the title paperwork. They had the offer. They signed a contract for the offer. So they didn't even get the title paperwork to complete all of the title paperwork till the 21st. There was no way in Hales the title company was trying to get this all done by the 23rd. They didn't even get the paperwork for the kids back till yesterday. So you're looking at the 30th is when they got the paperwork back from all the kids. Now we're waiting on the paperwork, the release from the cell tower company, because the cell tower company has the first right of refusal. If the property ever is sold, they have first rights to buy it for the agreed upon price or to refuse it. And that's normal in real estate. And we made sure before we even made an offer that they would refuse and they would maintain their lease. And that's what they're going to do. They did send me a document today that I had to sign for the cell tower company. They wanted to make sure that legally in writing I would adhere to the new lease, and that they did not want me to develop the land for residential houses. In other words, come in, parcel it out into developmental housing. And I think the real issue is if I were to do that, the cell antenna would no longer be legal on the grounds there. And so I agreed not to parcel up the 70 acres, while there's a lease on the property. So I think that was their biggest fear, because the property is under my rental property business name, which is Hang Your Hat Homes LLC. So I think their fear going, oh wait, this is Hang Your Hat Homes. This is a investor coming in is going to parcel it up, but that's not the case. That's not what we're trying to do with that piece of property at all. So that's one more step closer. And then the next step is the legal department has to release the sale of the property, and then frankly we get the keys.
I'm amazed that you got the paperwork back from the kids so fast.
I'm shocked. I even told George through this process, because I've been so frustrated with it, because we really need to be on the property to continue business. But I even told George, I was like, we're not getting on the property in January. But the fact that the paperwork got back by all 6 kids, I mean, business wise, I need this deal done today before midnight. I need it done for financial stewardship. I need the deal done today, but that's just not going to happen, unfortunately. And that does make pretty significant setbacks for me come tax time, but it is what it is,
It's
so
not realistic because there's too many hands
but
involved.
now we think we may potentially get on the property in January.
Okay.
I hope so.
Oh, we do too.
Hales is going on.
So like they don't want you to make a bunch of different properties on your property, but you technically can still have like more than one like party living on your property, correct?
Yeah.
If you had like those other
I'm
houses
just not going
or
to subdivide.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to subdivide. Which I easily could. I'm within the city limits, so I could subdivide it, and but I have no intention of doing that.
All right, Conky. They brought this thing up on the screen there. What's your best lockers, Conky?
My best lockers of this year?
Yeah.
You know, I can't. Boy, I wish I could.
The one you and Jeremy split.
That was probably the best one of this year. Because the best one of all time was was Vince's unit, but that was last year. That wasn't this year. So yeah, I have to say the best one of this year is the one that we split with Jeremy. That had the teeth. It had
it did.
It had the body. Of course, Jeremy got the body and most of the teeth. It had the costume jewelry. Trying to think of what else. Just little things that we pulled out of there and stuck on eBay, and $40 here, $60 there, $20 there. Just started adding up.
All those lighters you found?
All the what?
All those lighters?
Yeah, the lighters. That was a good locker for. That was one of those lockers that had all those boxes in it, and it was good for giving up on a box and saying, "Oh, this is all junk." And oh wait, right down here in the corner, the last thing you see is a Zippo or something. Or there's a little tin in there. Last thing you pull out, 3 minutes ago you considered just throwing the box in the garbage, but then I don't know, I'm just going to go through it. And you pull out a tin and open it up, and it's got jewelry in it or something. That whole locker seemed to be like that. So it kept up the. How do I want to put this? If you get into a locker, and every box you open up is awesome, you sort of expect every other box to be awesome. If every box is junk, you sort of expect all the boxes to be junk. But having that little surprise in every third or fourth box of being just about ready to give up on it and then finding something completely awesome in there just made it a good locker. You just never knew when that was going to happen again.
Awesome. Not only that, those videos got you to... Oh, that got you to over 1,000 subscribers, right?
Yes.
You got over 1,000
Yes.
subscribers. That was a pretty monumental thing for you as far as YouTube as well. That was incredible.
Well, it got me over 1,000 subscribers, and it got me my 4,000 watch hours.
That's a big thing.
At the same time, like within 2 or 3 videos. I did 7 videos on that locker. Jeremy, how many did you do? Did you do 7?
We do like 5, I think. 5 total.
Maybe it was 5. I forget. It was either 5 or 7. It was an odd number. But in the beginning of it, I was under 1,000 subscribers and like maybe 12 or 1,300 watch hours or 1,600 watch hours. And at the end, it was, closer to 2,000 subscribers. And, I don't know how many watch hours, because once it hits 4,000, it just kind of goes away and it doesn't really tell you anymore. It just tells you what your watch hours were for the last 28 days.
Yeah, that unit was awesome. You're talking about the unit that I got the shirts in, right?
No, that was Vince's unit.
Yeah, that was last year.
We're
talking
about
last year.
Unit, man.
Let's
was
talk
awesome
about what about your unit? Best unit this year, or units?
I think my best unit was the horse unit. Just because of how cheap I got it and how much profit I'm still gonna make on it. Like, I still have not sold the saddles. I still have a lot of sterling silver. I'm still in contact with the lady. I'm still, I still have the opportunity, the God-given, opportunity to give the lady, some of her precious stuff that she thought she would never receive ever again, for a New Year's kind of like holiday gift. I actually just Facebooked her like not too long ago. So, I thought that was the most rewarding, and it's still honestly, rewarding me. I'm just not even done with it. So it's definitely going to be a huge experience, like meeting the girl, like, and because she was Billy Ray Schaefer's like wife. So I don't know. There's a lot of stories and a lot of like stuff I feel like that people would want to know, that's gonna come from that unit. And like I said, I'll say it again for those that haven't watched the channel, but I got this horse unit for $175. I had no idea what was inside of it. Jeremy actually came and looked at it with me for the first time, and he instantly said that I was going to get a lot of sterling silver in it, and that's exactly what happened. I got a knife and spoon set filled with sterling silver, and I turned $175 instantly to like 1,500. So that would be my best unit easy this year.
And that was in Sheffield, right?
Yep, Sheffield.
Yeah, that was in Sheffield, where he also got the dialysis machines.
Now that would
the
be
very same day, I believe.
Oh my gosh!
The worst unit and the best unit.
Was that really the same day, or is that different?
Different day.
Different days.
Was it a different day? I thought that was the same day.
It honestly might have been.
Rob?
I think it was a different day.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
There went Guapo. He'll be back.
So
Rob,
me, I don't know. I have a bunch, man. I have a bunch like Jeremy. I could talk. I'll go through a bunch quickly. One is obviously the Restores the Love unit that I had. That was great. Jeremy and I got to give back all that stuff to the lady. Another unit that was awesome was the unit Jeremy and I split with the trains.
That was the one where I walked off of the General Lee. That's one of my favorite units.
Everybody else involved in that one. So you got the General Lee and brand new in the package that you had when you were a kid.
Yep.
And Jeremy and we made a lot of money, and it was a great, great unit. Then, of course, the plane unit, the 10x30 that Jeremy helped me go through. And with all the RC planes, the models, I still got some models left from that. I still got some planes hanging up in my building. So that was an awesome, awesome unit. Then the one unit I bought, the 10x20, with all the jewelry, the religious stuff that Jeremy once again helped me go through. That unit was awesome. Lots of gold. Lots of good stuff in that unit. Man, it's just so many good units this year. I can't even think of them all. And then like hoarder houses that I've gone to. And speaking, I got a few toys I brought to show you guys tonight.
Oh, did you? Just to wave under my nose or what?
I did this hoarder house. I got a bunch of stuff out of. This is a different hoarder house. These people bought this house to rehab. Okay. And they originally purchased the house, and they were supposed to have all the possessions in the house. Well, they came to make the deal. They went to the house, and the lady took out tons of stuff from the house. They said, Rob, you wouldn't believe this house. It was loaded with antiques and collectibles. The whole house was packed like hoarders. But long story short, all this stuff was missing. They did the deal. They made the lady take off, I think, $10,000 or $20,000 off the price, and they finally finalized the deal. They got the house. They called me up. There was a cubby hole filled with raccoon poop. In one of my videos you guys watch, I went through there. Cast iron pans, tons of Griswold, Wagner, 100-year-old cast iron pans. I think the highest one sold for was like $350 at the auction. But I'm pulling this stuff out. I had to clean the raccoon poop off this stuff. There was blow torches and all kind of vintage antique items like those brass blow torches, hundreds of them, just piles in this cubby hole.
There was the typewriters too. There was the typewriters
from 1900, early 1900s. I sold all this stuff for the people. Then they called me up. Hey, Rob, we got another load. There was another cubby space that didn't have raccoon poop in it. It was full of trains and toys and more
Lionel trains, dude, not just regular trains.
So American Flyer Lionel, I'll show you a couple things. Here's one of the toys here. Full screen. Full screen, Conky. I got it.
Hang on a second.
Check a look at this one.
Is that an art?
It has rubber wheels.
Is that arcade?
Yes, it is.
He brought a car to rub it in Conky's face, guys.
No, I'm not rubbing no face. He can buy these at the auction just like anyone else. He could bid. Okay.
Nice.
Now take a look at this one here. I got more toys for you.
Oh wow.
Man.
Pre-war Lionel.
All just stuck in a cubby hole.
And box is full. Box is full. I just started going through it. The first video came out today, guys. Okay, and then this one left me speechless, blew my mind. Okay, and I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen lots of toys. Okay.
Drum roll. Can we get a drum roll? Drum roll, please. Oh man. What is that? Oh my gosh, what is that?
It's a ship.
It's a 1909 patent date. Before World War I, okay? Military ship. Look at the wheels on this thing.
Wow.
Metal wheels.
Gosh, dude. Oh, that's got to go up in the shop, dude. You got to put that up in the shop, man.
Wow.
Is this thing unbelievable? 1909 patent date.
That's incredible.
Wow.
It's over 100 years old. My son said 111, Dad. I said, well, but is that unbelievable or what? It has all the cannons. They're not broken off. You know, these things are always missing, you know. These little top pieces are always missing.
Is that going up for auction too?
I don't know, Conky. This one might have to go to the collection.
Yeah.
Why is it all the good stuff you keep?
Oh no, Conky, there's gonna be so much good stuff. You know, all this, all kind of great stuff. Trust me.
I seen it, guys. I seen it. It was incredible. When I went over there, we could hardly even open up the U-Haul. You know.
There's tons of Conky and other old pressed steel toys. There's cast iron toys, tin litho toys. There's stuff for you, Conky. Speaking of which, this Saturday, Coy's Pop Culture Auction. You should go look through that. There's some good stuff in there.
There is. I actually seen that.
What's that?
Are you going to try to do go back to doing like some live auctions this year, or?
It's a tough one. We talked about it. I mean, right now I have no plan at this point with the way that everything's going. And I mean, for me, it gives me an extra day off. It's actually saves me money by not having the live auction. And, you know, I love the live auctions. Don't get me wrong. But at this point in time, I something would have to justify it. Like when I had the billionaire, you know, estate, when I have to do the live auction anyways, because I have to do like 3 bidding platforms at one time to have, you know, get maximum dollar. So something like that, I do live auction. What the Hales? I'll do live auction there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was fun.
Live auction in Florida.
I'm coming down. Actually, it's a reciprocal state.
Live auction?
It's a reciprocal state. So I can get my license down there. I think it cost me $100, I think.
Oh, nice.
Huh.
Yeah, because my auction's transferable down there. There's like, I think 17 or 20 states I can transfer my license with no problem.
Everybody's in the chat wishing us Happy New Year. We got
Happy
New Year.
I see Grandma Jay, Uncle Bo, Tony, Boatman, Carolyn Taylor, Westside Gary's here.
Mickey's
Griggs.
here. Mickey Griggs is here. What up, Mickey?
Debbie Landis, Veronica Morgan, Amanda Smith. The Hudsons are here.
The Hudsons said
earlier. There's Alan Jacob.
Woodbine Girls in the chat as well. Can't forget her.
Yeah, I can only look up. So,
hey, Happy New Year, everybody. We appreciate you guys watching.
New Year.
I'm saying everybody I recognize, guys.
I see.
I can't see the chat. So you guys are doing better than I am. I can't see any of the chat.
I can bring stuff up every once in a while.
Amanda, what's up, Amanda?
So I've been leaving these up on my channel. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I seen.
If everybody's okay with that, or
well, it might not get monetized this time.
Are they getting monetized?
Well, I mean, yeah, so far until Jeremy made that comment about the balls. I don't know if that's gonna stay on, but
Playing it on the ball.
Hold on. Yeah. The last ones, they have a green money sign. What,
Yeah.
dude? All of mine have yellow money signs. I don't understand.
They for weeks they started off yellow, and every one of them I made them do a human review on. I'd look right after we got done. I'd look, it'd be yellow. I'd hit request human review, and after a while, just like Jeremy said, after a while they're just green.
It trains the YouTube AI, so you're training the YouTube AI, and it'll check in a manual review, and if it checks it and it trusts you that there was nothing wrong with it, then you just fall into the system. Okay, you're okay all the time.
Mm-hmm. So I've been leaving them.
Dang.
So if you guys are saying anything that you don't want anybody,
what's up, Funky?
Anybody to know?
Oh man, it's too late now.
Yeah,
they spilled the beans.
Beans are spilled. Oh, here.
Cat's out of the bag.
I have no clue how, but my screen did the same thing, and all of a sudden, just boom. So I can't see you guys again. But don't worry.
Oh, you can't see this? Boatman saying, what does Rob want for the ship? I don't think it's for sale. Service Chihuahua sent a $2 super chat. Jeremy said someone saying New Year's ball. Yep, New Year's ball.
If I do sell it, it would go in auction. So whatever it brings at auction is what it would
New Year's balls.
Ball.
Yes, New Year ball. Well, there's multiple balls they drop on New Year's, I've heard, different places.
To the walls, my friends.
I've been looking around for something to drop. Everything I see in here that I drop would break. So
that's a good thing. That's what you should do. Drop something that breaks.
Don't drop anything that breaks, Conky.
Do it outside though.
I'll drop my troll. How's that?
Don't drop your troll, Conky. Don't drop your troll.
This is
the troll drop.
Jesse's pin here. I've got my prop box over here with the trolls in it and the train and.
Don't drop your troll, Conky.
No, he's safe. He's right here.
Keep your troll safe.
He's a safe troll. The safety troll.
Safety troll.
Like the safety dance, only the safety troll.
So I got a 2-part question for you guys, but I only want to ask one part first and then the next part.
Oh no.
This doesn't sound good.
Oh no.
No, it's all good. You don't have to worry about that. So 2020.
What's up, Jim?
You know, the craziness, whether you watch TV, whether you watch YouTube, whether you listen to just people, everything seems to start with, the uncertainty of the times. And there's nothing different than any other time in the world. But in our spheres, there were definitely challenges in 2020. I'm curious to hear what the challenges were that each of you went through, as you went through 2020. And then the second part, I want to ask afterwards as you guys share the challenges that you went through 2020. And then the second part,
Where's that coming from?
That was accidentally me.
Oh,
sorry. My phone, I push Conky's Flippin' Adventure. Anytime it pops up, I have to push it.
Rob, that was a rookie mistake, Rob. Come on, it's 2021.
Dude, Conky's Flippin' Adventures pops up, I push the button, dude. I can't help it.
It's 2021, Rob. Come on.
Hales and Storage Legends. When I see a video pop up, I'm like, what's this? And like a live chat right now?
Right now. You're just getting a notification.
Did Storage Legends just release Partying with My Mom?
We just released Dropping the Balls.
You see me as like a selfie, and I'm just like, guys, we're live, we're live. Everything's just going crazy.
I love it.
No, dude, I'll go first. Honestly, if I'm not like choppy, there's been a lot of challenges, and I gotta say, like, I feel like a lot of people would agree with me when I say that 2020 has been like a very good year for things and a very bad year. It's been like one of the worst best years I've ever had in my life. Because let me start with the best. The best would be because of all of the reseller milestones that I've hit. The worst because of all of the health and all of like the negativity in the world. And like I've never really seen like the world in, like, I'm 26. So I've never really seen the world in this condition as far as protesting, political, debates and, all this health and stuff. But I'd say like number one challenge for me would be, I would say probably like battling that constant fear that all of society had from catching the virus or getting any of my family sick or if any of my family caught the virus and fatally passed away. I think that would be like the number one strongest, most heavy hitting challenge I had to face in 2021, just because of like all of the uncertainty with the virus. Something hit the world that the world has never seen before. So and like, and we all were together through it. You guys are my brothers. I mean, we talked all the time. Right before the coronavirus hit, I was helping Jeremy record that awesome unit he got. It was, it just happened. And like, I don't know, like that would definitely be my number one challenge though, for sure, is the fear of the coronavirus.
Who's next?
I mean, me, I don't know. Challenge-wise, I mean, it's tough to say really any challenge. I mean, everything went unbelievable well. I mean, there's a few pieces of business that we had to wait on, but they all came through, and everything went better than expected. I mean, health-wise, anybody that had bad health out there. And I had
this is my cousin Julian. I'm sorry, he just came and said hi to everybody. Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year!
So, he came to check on me. That's funny. Sorry, go ahead, Rob. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The biggest challenges really lately have been with the stupid post office. Before we started scanning the packages, the stuff that never got scanned, and they scanned something, and the lady just got it that was from like 3.5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So that's been really the biggest challenge. Has just been post office and people calling and saying, "Hey, where's this item?" And I bought it a month ago, and it's like,
That's a big challenge. That was a serious challenge too. The post office has never seen this ever, and they've already publicly admitted it. They've never seen this.
There's no excuse. UPS handled it fine. I had no issues with UPS, and they had to have a huge flux of shipment too.
Yeah, but nowhere near the magnitude that USPS had.
Yeah, but UPS knew how to handle it, and so did FedEx. It's the post office was the one that really screwed it up.
And I feel bad for a lot of people on eBay that lost lots of money before eBay fixed the problem. But I know people before that time that they had refunded all kind of money and packages were lost and still are lost out there. I've heard of so many horror stories. So I feel bad for a lot of people out there that, the post office failed the U.S., citizens, really.
Yeah.
Hey, and let them take over healthcare, you know what I'm saying?
Well, speaking of health, I guess that brings me to my answer. The biggest challenge for me was, and you guys sort of saw me going through this on YouTube as I went through it. April, I got my kidney stones. I spent an hour thinking I was going to die, and in another week just wishing I would. Those got cleared up. I already had a appointment to have my wisdom teeth pulled, so I had those pulled. That didn't go the way I wanted it to. I needed to have one pulled, but they were running a special, so they took them all. Then I got my hernia, and then I stepped on the nail, and then I had my hernia operation. And that pretty much took out the whole summer for me. Well, they went guapo. That pretty much took out the whole summer for me. In the the challenging part wasn't that. The challenging part was realizing that something like that could take out my whole summer. You know, you think you're Superman until your body tries to kill you, and then you have to wake up and realize that you're not going to get as much done as you thought you were going to get done, and you're not as strong as you thought you were, and you're not, the person you were, half a lifetime ago. And the challenge is, realizing that and moving with it. Jeremy, your turn.
I think the biggest challenges were I lost Gwen as an employee, even though it was a blessing that Gwen was having Willow as a baby. But Gwen has been the hardest working employee that I've had in, the storage unit business. If you spent any time around Gwen, and she wasn't on, she really wasn't on the videos, but met Gwen by literally restoraging the love, bought her unit so she wouldn't lose it at auction, and then let her take anything she wanted from the unit if she helped clean the unit, and then resold anything that was left. And through that process, she asked if I was hiring, and through that process, she became, just downright hard worker in the warehouse on those old wooden planks with nails and glass and splinters. She would kick her shoes off and go, "I'm pregnant, my feet are swollen, I work better with my shoes off." And she would run around that warehouse hauling anything I asked her to. Me telling her, whoa, no, you're pregnant. And she'd be like, "I'll do whatever I want to do. I'm fine." Okay. And then losing her through that process in the beginning of the year. But then another struggle. So number one, losing Gwen. And the second half of the question is, all right, what were the blessings? How'd you overcome it all? But losing Gwen. Number two was a April scheduled auction at the warehouse, which desperately needed to happen to alleviate space. I mean, so there's always an issue with buying and reselling is no matter how much space you have, it's not enough. It is. Rob will tell you, Andrew will tell you, Lee will tell you, no matter how much you have, I guarantee you it's not enough, because that's just more you can buy to find more profit. And so for me to work within that space, I have to liquidate. And that, with them shutting all auctions down, and that was a challenge, because I couldn't open up space that I needed to open up to continue to buy. And then that rolled into another challenge with having a live auction with Rob. And frankly, people were just afraid to go out. Now, yeah. I am not one that fears the virus at all. And George will tell you, there's no fear in me over it at all. And if somebody wants to look at me and go, "Hey, you're stupid," then all right, that's your opinion. If you want to fear it, you fear it. But I choose not to fear. I know where I'm going when I'm gone. And I know there is an appointed time where my days end on this earth. And so I have that hope within me of going, I know what's next. And so I don't approach life in fear like that. And that's part of my personality, and that's part of my belief system, and it's part of my core. So for me, a huge challenge was people fearing something that I honestly didn't fear at all, and frankly have very little sympathy for those who do. And so for me, every person who writes a comment on our videos and goes, "Where's your mask? Why aren't you wearing a mask?" Well, there are so many more things that kill more people than this virus.
Right. No, absolutely. Yep.
And so every person that, throws that comment on our videos, immediately it's gone. It's gone. It doesn't fit. We're in Florida on purpose, so we don't have to wear a mask. We're here so
Right.
because that philosophy fits more with our philosophy and who we are, and a lack of fear. And so people's fear became a huge not drain, but hindrance, because it became more difficult for us to actually sell. So losing an employee, not being able to liquidate with a live auction, people's fear, so now not being able to sell as much, that became a challenge. No live auctions, number 4, no live auctions. That in itself, I mean, I'm a huge proponent of live auctions. Not being able to use all my senses, not being able to just properly profile at a live auction, not being able to be able to support the art and the craft of auctioning, auctioneers, that I think was a hindrance as well for the year, that, live auctions for that time, were shut down. And the, number 5, as far as, hindrances, is got to be the post office. It's, I don't think anybody knew how crazy, the post office was not going to be able to handle the volume of packages. And we're looking at thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on eBay. We've lost our power seller status on eBay. Now it will come back, because through eBay's process, we have to go ahead and we got to go in, and we got to fight every, it's not really fighting, but you just disagree with.
Yeah, but you said it was your number 1 challenge, though, Jeremy. What's your number out of everything you just said? You asked us what our number 1 challenge. What's your number 1 challenge above all the challenges?
Not being able to have an auction to open up space. Space. I need to have a spring auction, and I need to have a fall auction. And I needed the warehouse to liquidate completely. And even with the 2 auctions that we did with Rob, nowhere near what I needed to have happen to clear space.
That's the thing, guys. I gotta say. What?
We were just hoping you would show up and buy some stuff, load up that truck.
Yeah, where were you storing?
What was I doing? Where was I? I think I was in Florida.
Flea market.
I was in Florida. Oh yeah, I think I was at the. There was one time I was in Florida, and the other time I was at the flea market. And I do regret not going, because I heard a lot of things sold for significantly good prices. So, I mean, but the bottom line is, though, guys, the one thing that I've learned about our business, man, is like the more, like, I remember I was talking to you on the phone, Rob, and it hit home, because you said I said I was like kind of like venting a little bit. I was like, man, I got to sell this. I got a meeting for this. This person's picking up this fridge tomorrow. And, this is going to be gone, but I still have my box truck. It's loaded. I got to unload my box truck and put the items in my box truck right at the same spot where these items just left at. So, yeah, I mean, that concept of never having enough space is definitely accurate, guys. If you're in this business, you have to kind of like make peace with the fact that you'll always have a lot of stuff. And I think that's what you said, Rob. You were like, man, you were like, I think you said like you were like, bro, we're storage unit buyers. We're gonna have a lot of stuff, and we're gonna have a little bit of stuff. There's gonna be times where we're packed, and there's gonna be times where we're not as packed as those times. But I think it's there's never gonna be a time, Jeremy, where like we have an auction and we're gonna be like, all of that's gone, or wow, look at all. It's just never gonna happen, because we get so much stuff. And I feel like that's something this 2021 that I'm gonna try to maybe organization's gonna be huge, and kind of like find like this like this solution to just having so much stuff all the time, like.
Have any of you ever come across somebody that doesn't know the difference between a hoarder and somebody who, like us, buys and sells valuable stuff, and they approach you and say, "Oh, there are people who can help you. Let's get rid of all." Like all you have is a bunch of junk, and they just want to, you're some sort of sick, twisted.
So you talked to my wife today, huh, Conky?
It's exactly what I was talking about.
I figured as much. So she got to you too. I know she called Hales. He needs help. He needs help. That's why I'm here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on AA.
That's what this is all about. There are people who can help us.
Listen, I put out a video. Go ahead.
That's a good point, though, man. Honestly, all of these hoarders, there was a point I feel like in their life where they were resellers. You know, at what point do we classify hoarding from, you know, at what point is inventory junk and junk inventory? You know.
Well, a hoarder doesn't sell. That's the difference.
A hoarder doesn't sell. That's the difference. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
like the
don't
radio
you feel like at one point they were resellers though, or no? I remember that.
They do. It's worth money. I have to hold on to it, and they never sell.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
You know, I thought about that today because what don't I need any more of? What do I have so much of that I don't need any more of?
Toys.
No, I always need more toys. I bought
toilet paper.
Vehicle. Okay. And I bought this thing because it's a car that you couldn't touch for under $5,000 no matter where you looked. You were not going to find this car for under $5,000. And I bought it for $1,200.
Nice.
I looked at it as, well, I'm bringing value in. You know, I'll either fix it up and flip it, or I'll upgrade my work car or something like that. But, you know, and it's going to be worthy of a video. I'm actually going to be able to do a video on, because the interior of this car is so filthy. It qualifies as one of these extreme cleaning things that gets, you know, like 1 million views on YouTube. So there's going to be a video of me cleaning the inside of this car out. It's supposed to be an ivory color, but it's like dark brown from all the. It looks like somebody walked on the seats, but I didn't need it. My one buddy I was talking to about it yesterday, when I found out about it, said, "You know, you don't need that car. You've got too many projects. You're stretched too thin. You don't need it. Where are you going to put it?" He came over today after I went and bought it this morning. He came over today. We were just sort of standing there shooting a bull, and I go, "I bought that car today." And he goes, "Yeah, I knew you would."
Hey, Ronald said the man that dies with the most toys wins. I agree.
Yeah. No, his heirs.
The man who sells the most toys wins. His kids win.
Yeah, when his kids or his wife or whoever when he dies.
Yeah, well, I already told my wife, if anything happened to me, just call Rob. Have him come in and sell it all.
Yeah, you can't take my buddy used to say you can't take the U-Haul truck to it doesn't follow the hearse or whatever. U-Haul truck doesn't follow the hearse.
Yeah.
But this is from a guy who had $1 million just in guns.
Wow. How many millions of dollars did he have in ammo?
I have no clue. He probably has way more than $1 million in guns now, but at the time, he had a walk-in safe with he had a gun was used in every war the U.S. fought in, starting with the Revolutionary War from all sides.
Oh, wow.
Not just the U.S. Whatever country we were in war with, you had the Japanese, the Italians, he had Canadian. I mean, guns. Any country that made a gun during the wars, he had those guns.
Wow.
Plus, and other stuff too. I mean, the guy was amazing. He's still amazing.
Guys, my phone's gonna die. I want to say I love everybody. I love the whole community. I want to say Happy New Year, and I want to say let this year coming up be better than the last one. Okay.
Wait, don't go yet, man. You got to give follow up. What are the greatest things that happened in 2020 because of 2020? What's the greatest thing that happened? What you can't.
I met the greatest. The greatest thing of 2020. I feel like I was in YouTube for 2019 a little bit, right? Right. I would say the greatest thing that happened in 2020 was I was able to get closer to the community because we didn't have nothing else to do. So I definitely believe that that 2020 had a lot of great and a lot of downfalls, but I think that overall, we are what we've been through, and it doesn't kill us, it makes us stronger. So this
So
next,
your YouTube auctions,
I would say no, not I didn't say not anything about the auctions. I was saying probably I would say the greatest thing about 2020 is the milestones I've hit as a reseller. YouTube auctions definitely contributed to it. But the value of things skyrocketed. So I would say the milestones I hit as a reseller would be the coolest thing for 2020. But also like how much I've grown closer to all three of you guys, man. I mean, and everybody in the chat, so that's what I would say 2020 I should thank for.
Hey, Guapo, go charge your phone and come back on a little later then.
What'd you say, Conky? You're breaking up. My phone's dying. What'd you say?
Go charge your phone and come back.
Yeah. If my phone gets charged, I'd come right back. But if I don't, I love you guys so much and Happy New Year. For real.
All right.
See you next year, brother.
See you, buddy.
I just dropped 2 balls.
I like it.
Now I've got to.
Did the left or the right one drop first?
Give me a head and cough. All right, Rob, same question to you.
The best thing about 2020? I would have to, besides family and everything else, you're talking about business-wise?
Anything. Well, it's Jeremy's question.
Yeah, of course, seeing my kids and hanging out with them and my wife and all that. But, business-wise, I would have to say just the friendship and relationship, with the YouTube community. With, what the Hales, Conky, Storage Legends, Clear Thrifts. I got to meet the Hudsons, Pittsburgh, and all kind of other people I'm forgetting out there throughout the year. So just building that community and trying, when Jeremy first started in the storage locker area, because I'm one of the veterans from a long time ago, and there was resistance. And now it's funny because Jeremy got me video and everything else, and it's like these guys, like I'll go in and videotape everyone's locker. Before it was like shut the door, no one can come in, no one sees anything, everything's all secretive, don't talk about anything, never show anything, and load the truck at nighttime, whatever you got to do, that's how it was, and now it's like all those doors have been broken open, and we gotta say, hey, thanks, what the Hales, and and he got me videotaping, and like now, like I said, there's these people that have been doing it for 10, 12 years that would never, and hey, Rob, come see what I got in my unit, come videotape this, and you got people from Dan to Dave to, it goes on, and people are just, hey, Rob, and so it's great thing, because, the best thing is sharing the stuff, sharing the finds, sharing things that you never get to see before. That's why I brought these toys today, because like that ship, I never seen anything like that. And those are the things, and we get to share with people, and people are like, oh, this is fake, or this is never going to happen, and blah, blah. I'm telling you, it happens all the time.
Every day.
And, Jeremy and I found a Harley in a unit, and just last week, Dave buys a unit with a freaking Harley Davidson in it. Come on. We're talking about Cleveland, Ohio, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking about California or Florida.
A year in Cleveland, Ohio already. Now, there's going to be another Harley in Cleveland next year.
Yeah. This is one of the top biking places in the United States. Is Ohio has one of the top motorcycle ownership of any state. If you ever looked it up, I think we're like 2 or 3 in this country.
Never
It's
realized.
kind of weird because you can only ride your bike for 4 or 5 months, but it's like a boat. You can only use it for half the year if you're lucky.
Yeah.
Not like in Florida. I used to live in Florida, people, and I love Florida, but I'll be back there. I'm going to go soon to visit Mr. Jeremy. But yeah, I guess that was the best thing, is just really growing the YouTube part of this and expanding that part and opening up other people's eyes. And, people now talk to me about the YouTube thing, and people are like, hey, have you seen Jeremy, or how's Jeremy, or this and that? And I'm like, oh yeah, he's doing great in Florida. And just how much everything's changed full circle. And Jeremy can contest to that. It's night and day compared to what it was to, when he's showing up, where people, are giving him mouthing at him, hey, don't film me, and saying stuff behind his back and comments and, harassing him and stuff. And whatever way their machoism, not say it to his face, of course, because, most people don't have that kind of New Year's balls, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah.
That's been a great, just seeing that whole thing grow and blossom, and then what it's going to keep going into. I mean, we got Conky, we got Storage Legends, we got Claire Thirst, we got me and all the other people. And, and I just love to see people what they got in the units, because sometimes you can't buy every unit. It's impossible. You want to buy every unit, but you just can't do it. We just talked about space, I mean, how many times you see a unit, it's like, I want to buy that unit, but it gets to a certain price, it's too high, or it's like, I don't know if I got the space at the second time, and there's a lot of units you want to buy, but sometimes you got to wait to the ones you really, really got to buy.
Yeah, the ones that speak to you.
Exactly.
I just wonder, and I don't think Jeremy will ever even really know the actual answer to this, how many people started a YouTube channel because of Jeremy?
I think it was 27 and a half.
27, who's the half? Am I the half?
That half one quit it.
Right.
They were just like, no, we're done.
Right. They had 2 videos.
Yeah. No, he got me to, Jeremy, you got me to start filming. I remember when I got Vince's unit. He's frozen.
Who, Jeremy?
Jeremy's frozen. Anyway, I was saying, I remember when I got Vince's unit, and Jeremy was filming me, sort of walking backwards, and he spoke into his camera. I'm trying to get him to start his YouTube channel. So I started my YouTube channel.
And that's awesome, man. I mean, he kept going to me, Rob, you're sitting on $1 million right here. He comes to my warehouse, and he was just like, this place is just loaded, man. You got stuff you could videotape. He's like, I could just sit here all year and just videotape your warehouse. And I was like, well, that's a good point. And then what I thought, also is that I do a little bit different is I go to a lot of estates and houses, and I try to bring that to the people. And I know sometimes people get mad at me because, a lot of times I go to these places, I film this stuff. I just try not to get the people in, picture, and, because I respect their privacy in the estate. A lot of times it could be siblings and things like that, and they don't mind if I film it, but they don't, a lot of people, they don't want to be on the camera part because whatever, their parents passed away or whatever happened, or so. But I get to film and bring people inside, some of these houses and millionaire mansions and, houses on the lake. I've got to film in all kind of just crazy places. You just never know. Yeah. And I think people get to enjoy that aspect. So I'm glad that he kept saying, "Hey, Rob, film." And he's back.
And he's not frozen. No, I'm still getting used to the whole, like I went to look at, Jeremy sent me a Facebook link a couple of weeks ago about a guy in, I think it was in Medina, that had, 4,000?
Yeah, he posted he had 4,000 cars.
Yeah, 4,000 like Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. And he seemed like an older gentleman. He didn't have Facebook himself. His son did the post for him. He doesn't text, but he's got a phone. So I'm not really used to going into people's houses and, looking over collections. Like, I've done it before, but it's just not the kind of thing I do every day. And then I didn't want to try to explain to him why I had my phone out and I was pointing it at him in the toys. So I just I'm more concentrated on trying to get the collection. But then after I looked at, I think I said this in last week of the week, after I looked at all the cars, he revealed that he wanted like $4,000 for all of them. I'm like, well, that's $1 a piece. I think you're going to be hanging on to these for a while. So, whatever. I went and looked. It was neat, though.
That's the thing. If you don't go, you don't know. Just like the storage units.
I still think Jeremy probably thought I was crazy because he texted me later that day and said, "So did you get a deal?" It's like, no, hold on a second. Hold on. I'll go in a couple of days and take a look at him. I'm not going to go right now. I'm not going to call him yet.
I thought Lee would call him, video, and cut a deal that day. I'm like, yeah, he's going right away. He's going to cut him a deal.
I wish.
No, right there. Here's $1,000. Put it on the table. Take it or leave it.
That's probably what I should have done. That might have made it harder for him to, maybe if he'd have seen the money, but just saying, well, I was thinking like 1,000 after he told me 4,000. He wasn't interested in talking.
Did you ever watch Pawn Stars? You know, people were like, "How much you want for it?" 10 grand. He's like, "I'm gonna give you $500."
I'll take it.
Like, no, I can't do that. How about 5,000? No, I'll give you 600. Or how about 1,000? You know, what you want and what you get are two different things. Man, my camera's on.
I approached it as I was trying to be the most respectful and the most, I guess, memorable, so that when he did realize that he wasn't going to get his $4,000, he'd call me, you know, and I could, you know, go and maybe make a deal out with him. But I had lunch with a buddy of mine yesterday, and he sits down and we're talking. He says, you know, he goes, me and some friends of mine, we're thinking about starting a pawn shop, you know, getting the licensing, getting the FFL licensing and the gold dealers licensing and all the licenses you have to get to be a pawn shop. Because we're thinking about opening up a pawn shop. He told me where, and I'm not going to reveal that because it was part of the conversation he didn't want me to talk about. But I thought it was a pretty good idea. And I brought in, I said, you know, you could even make a YouTube channel around it. And from day one, film, you know, you opening the store and the people coming in. I said, you could have a drive-through window and people could do the drive-through pawn thing. And I said, it could be like Pawn Stars for YouTube, you know? He says, yeah. Because I didn't think of that. I said, well, that might wind up, you know, being a real big part of the thing. I said, so, you know, let me know, and I'll, with what little knowledge I have, I'll help you. I'll help you out. I'll come out and, you know, produce the videos for you. What do you want to do? So I don't know if he's going to do it or not, but I kind of hope he does.
I mean, the other way around that is you just open a thrift store and then you just put out a sign that says buy gold, jewelry, eararms, whatever, you know.
Well, and I asked him about that, and I don't know. I said, well, what's the difference between just opening a thrift store? And he said, well, I think he thinks he'll get more money or more
people
pawning than selling, because there's an emotional detachment when you sell, whereas when you pawn, there's that hope that you can go back and get your stuff back, I guess, you know.
So have you guys checked out the YouTube channel Great Finds Resale, which they're in Ohio, they're in Worcester, Ohio, and I encourage them to start a channel as well, and they're getting serious with it now. Dan and Carrie are actually uploading every day. They are a thrift store. They started buying storage units. They don't touch storage units anymore. Everybody comes into them, says, how much will you give me for this? And in essence, they are a pawn store, except nobody is actually, you know, pawning anything and hoping to get it back. They're just outright selling to Dan and Carrie, and then Dan and Carrie are putting it online and selling it on eBay and Amazon.
And the funny thing is, anybody could come back a week later, and if they still have the item, say, yeah, I want to buy my ring back, and you just pay the markup. And, you know,
Dan and Carrie make money off of everybody in Worcester just walking in. And they don't have to search for the stuff anymore. It literally, they get so much good stuff. It walks in their door. Stolen stuff. One of our TVs that were stolen was given to Dan and Carrie. Then Dan and Carrie contacted me and said, "Hey, we got your stolen TV. We saw your video."
Yeah, they gave me $2 for it.
Yeah, it wasn't stolen. They paid you for it. It's just they
gave
you monopoly money. No, when I don't know, you remember that comment I put on your live the other night when that guy came up and said, "Hey, Jeremy, can I get blocked?" And you said, "Sure," and you blocked him. I said, "Hey, Jeremy, can I get $1 million?" I wanted to say, "Sure." Here's your $1 million in printed up $100 bills.
I'm getting called for some New Year's activity fun. I have to go with the children for a little bit. I'll have to come back.
Just for a minute. Just for a minute.
I'll be back. You guys trying to stay on a minute? What's your plan here?
What's that, Rob?
What's your plan here? How long are you guys trying to stay on for?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought Conky was going to ring in the new year. He was going to drop that. He was going to drop the ball.
Well, we're going to bore the ever-loving snot out of everybody unless they want to watch us sit here and chat for another hour and 45 minutes. But
just take out here a picture of the kids.
I'm coming out, babe.
I still haven't answered Jeremy's question yet about the what was your question, Jeremy?
What were the good things that came out of 2020?
Oh, the good things. Well,
I'll be back.
Oh, let's see. Well, it was kind of an extension of the bad things, really. It was, and I don't want to get too much into part of this, but I basically, I work on exercise equipment during the day as a mild-mannered mechanic. And I've been, kind of looking for a way to, I don't want to say get out of that business necessarily in case some of my customers are watching, but I want to, sort of scale that back a little bit. And it gave me a chance to do that and see what it was like. It gave me a chance to see what, relying more heavily on, the storage unit income and the reselling income was going to be like. And, it seems like it's going to work out no matter what I do, So that was sort of a blessing getting sort of thrown into that, because I don't know that I would have, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid, you know what I mean? If somebody grabs your Band-Aid and rips it off for you, you don't have to sit there and try to rip it off yourself, if that makes any sense. So it was kind of a blessing. And then the other thing was, the timing of my misfortune with getting, the kidney stones and have to have the surgery was like right in the middle of everything. I couldn't have worked if I wanted to. Unemployment was a tricky little thing for me because I had to be willing, technically, I had to be willing to go back to work for the last customer that I worked for before the shutdown. And the last customer that I worked for before the shutdown, I'm not going to mention their name, but they made it clear that they didn't want me to return until after the pandemic was over. So technically, I could fill out my unemployment saying I was willing and able to work, and that my last employer wasn't calling me back yet, because they couldn't figure out that I was self-employed to the extent that they knew how to present the paperwork to me to fill out. So it worked out so that I could legally get unemployment through all that. Whereas
Wow.
if that would have happened during any other time, I'd have just been out of luck. I mean, I'd have been on some weird disability thing that I don't have. So it worked out. I feel like I'm on with it's neat that Rob left his camera on. We got the jokers. They're sort of staring at us. So now your answer, Jeremy.
Oh, I got a lot of things. Yep. The year was rough for a lot of people, but the year was a record breaker for me, and there's just so much to be thankful for. So through all of that, one of the things that I did with my Worcester tenants, if they rented property from me and they were in Worcester, I told them, you don't have to pay rent. Not because the government said that, it's because I said, you don't have to pay me rent. Come work for me. I'll deduct your rent. And some of my tenants actually took me up on that. Four of my tenants took me up on that. And two of them actually afterwards said, could we just stay working for you? We like working for you a whole lot better than other people. And so through that entire process, I was able to bring on Christian and Patience full time. So for them, huge, big blessing. I maybe they would say it's a blessing. Maybe they'd say it's a curse. But
don't speak for them.
but they're the ones that asked to stay on full time. So they get free housing as part of their contract. they get free housing, and then they get a weekly rate. And part of their contract as well is they absolutely have to work on YouTube, but they get a YouTube break while I'm in Florida. But they are on call at any time. If I say you have to come down to Florida, they have to come down to Florida. That's part of their employment. Just like all your terms of employment for anybody else that's watching works for somebody else. That's their terms of employment. That's what they agreed upon. And so we're not in a position where they're coming down to Florida yet. Eventually they will be in Florida. But that's not going to happen right away because we have to transition into the property. But we were able to bring them on full time. So that was good. That alleviated a lot of work from my hands in the reselling aspect, and even sometimes even just unloading. Like YouTube, and yeah, I say it all the time. I just feel like if you don't do it, you don't really know how intensive YouTube is, especially at the level where our channel is. And managing 2 channels, even though we've pulled back on the ASMR channel until we got here, which, by the way, tomorrow ASMR channel starts back up. So now that we're more settled into Florida, we can push that forward again, which is another thing. The realization that, treasure hunting may be put to a stop by a government, but the beauty of nature, you can't stop that. And so that was the creation of the ASMR channel. That was through the process of talking with you, Lee, and we'd be brainstorming at lunches and talking about ASMR, and then I got talking with Dave Sellers at Camp Patmos about ASMR. And finally, I was talking to George about ASMR, and I kept talking about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm an idiot. I need to stop talking about it and just do it. Like I'm telling everybody else, I'm like, just do it, just do it, just do it. And it was like, all right, we have to just do it. And so we did. So that was probably a realization of, everything shutting down and going, ASMR is a much, much bigger viewership than treasure hunting. And you can't shut nature down. Nature can shut itself down if it wants to, with a hurricane, which we are not in any hurricane paths. Everybody stop worrying. But that was really cool for us as far as that. The aspect of getting George to go caving was really big, and I think part of that was everything leading up to cancer surgery and where everything already was in the year, and then cancer on top of that. I mean, I think that really pushed her to a point of, all right, let's do it. I think I can do this. Which then you and Noreen even came down.
That's what I was going to say. It was bigger than getting George to go in the cave. Getting Noreen in the cave.
So it was, and then it was like, well, maybe other people would like to experience this too. I really wanted to push George to experience it, and then I was like, maybe other people would like to experience it. And then we had the meetup. So, all of that came out of the challenges and the difficulties of 2020 to then go, all right, here's a triumph and something amazing out of it. And through that process, 2020 really drove, there's always been a strong online presence for people purchasing, but 2020 drove 99.99999% of everybody purchasing online. And frankly, that made a lot of people a lot of money who were on their game in reselling. And so we made a lot of money this year. And that's not to brag. That's not to, it's the reality of it, where others struggled. We have said this in the past. Fun employment means you don't rely on another person for employment at all. It's you every day. You get up and you get to decide what your schedule is, what you're going to accomplish. You decide whether you have a job or not. And so 2020 did nothing to us in regards to income. If anything, it increased income. And so for us, we were able to make some significant leaps and bounds to go to Florida, and that process of even coming to Florida. Remember, that is all part of the challenges of 2020, and then going, okay, well, these are the triumphs. That is all part of the future direction of where we're headed. But God blessed us so much in 2020 that we embarked on one of our largest Restorage the Love projects today, which the YouTube world will not get to see probably until halfway through 2021. But the largest Restorage the Love project we've ever been a part of, $50,000.
Wow.
And you won't get to see any of it. You won't get to see any of it until 2021. But
well, that's like an hour and a half, Jeremy.
Well, that's true, but you're not going to get to see it until halfway through 2021. But we will share with you, the first clip was recorded today of the writing of a check, and the process you will get to see, and you won't get to see that until halfway through 2021. And if, Lord willing, that's just the start of where things could continue to go with that impact there. So with the aspect, and again, and I don't share any of that out of the aspect of going, of bragging or anything along those lines. I'm very transparent about what it is that we do. We've always tried to be extremely transparent on the channel. This is the business. This is Fun Employment. We want people to see that Fun Employment has enabled us to purchase 70 acres in Florida and enjoy winters in Florida. That's not to rub it in people's faces and go, look at us, we're in Florida, you're not. That's for people to understand. If you put in the work, we often, George and I will go back and forth and go, all right, we show the treasure hunting, but we have to show the lifestyle that affords too, that you can go to an island and go shelling just because you want to. And you can do things. We were even talking today. You want to inspire people. You don't want to rub things in people's faces. You want to inspire them to go, look, you can do this. This is possible. It is real. And through that process, I'm all over the place right now, but even George and I were talking today. I wrote a check for $50,000, Restored the Love, and you'll see the story later. And we were talking, and I said to her, I was like, you know how silly this is? I said, this is how ridiculous I am. I just wrote a check for $50,000 without a bat of an eyelash. I love doing it. And I go, but you see this envelope? This is an envelope with a forever stamp on it that we found in one of the storage units here. And I said, this is a 50-cent stamp that I will not let go to waste. And it's so tore up, and but it's a 50-cent stamp. And I told her, I was like, I'm so ridiculous. I was like, I'll write a $50,000 check to somebody without hesitation. I won't buy myself pants. I can't just let a 50-cent stamp on a beat up envelope go to waste. And part of it, I think, is stewardship. It's financial stewardship. It's just ingrained in. And she looks at me, she goes, yeah, I know it's annoying, but I put up with it. So 2020 for us was out of all the difficulties, probably created more opportunity than ever before, which is huge because I'm excited where 2021 is going with all the future plans, and excited what growth can continue to happen in the businesses. And for those that may not be aware, I'm in real estate, I'm in resale, and anything else you want to put with a RE at the front of it. So, and then YouTube as well. We'd be a retard. George just said retard.
I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to say it.
Monetization.
And on YouTube, I play a retard. And it's not much playing. I get paid for this. So the future direction, really, everything that happened in 2020 pushed the goals and the opportunities further than I think they could have gone without that. And I'm excited to see where that all heads in 2021. Which is yeah, it's an hour and 33 minutes away, but seeing where that all heads is going to be extremely exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, I guess, the July or June or July video that shows why you wrote the check for $50K.
Yeah. Be nice if it was made out of your name, Conky.
Hey,
I will share this, and this is you will only get this teaser. You guys get behind the scenes things in AA that you don't get on our normal channels, and so this is only a teaser here for behind the scenes on AA. It did go to a subscriber, so I will share that. Now the question is, who the Hales? And that will all be answered probably June or July in 2021. This is going to be a long process creating this video.
cool. I'm kind of working on the smaller scale, sort of the same thing, but that's I guess that'll come out as that develops. I'm still working on it. But the Conky style restores the love. You know what I mean? It's smaller than the Jeremy style, but
well, I think the beauty of the Restore the Love is, everything starts small, right? And then it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows.
Just like YouTube.
Like YouTube, you start with nobody, and then when somebody watches, you're like, oh my goodness, people actually watching this? I'm still shocked, but they are, and therefore we try and continue to move forward with the entertainment and the education. And the more entertainment and education people enjoy, the more it enables us to restore the love, and so that's a ton of fun.
Yeah. Well, what did that start off with? What was your first Restore the Love that you did, and how did you get the idea to do it?
It was when we found ashes in California, and so we found everything that we found in the storage unit. There were three boxes or containers of ashes, and we wanted. It is Jeebus and I, and we don't typically generally talk about this experience anymore, but this is a good time to bring it up in regards to Restore the Love. It was Jeebus and I. We bought the unit together. I told Jeebus, "Don't worry, I'll just pay for it." But we were gonna film it together, and we did, and we saw the ashes, and we went, well, what should we do? What if? So Jeebus and I started talking. I was like, well, why don't you go to a police station? I'll go to a fire station, or I'll go to a funeral home. You film there, I'll film at a funeral home, and we'll see if what they tell us to do. And then we found names, and so we then found the name on Facebook, and Amber reached out on Facebook, which we are like, we are always, George and I are always saying, do not give your personal information out. So like when we call somebody, they don't get our number. We dial *67. Our number is blocked. It comes up as private number. They don't get our number, and they don't get our information. And so Amber just reached out and responded like that. And we had an address, and it was 5 minutes around the corner. And we were like, well, let's do it. Let's do it. And so we went over and met her and gave her the ashes. And then Jeebus went, I got a bigger idea. He goes, I watched this guy, Mr. Beast, who gives away all this money, because I got a bigger idea. And so the idea was give the entire unit, and I'm like, absolutely, yeah, let's do it. And so, you know, it was easy for Jeebus to say that he didn't have any money invested in it. I paid for it. So it's easy when people go, oh, you know, people on YouTube all the time go, well, you should do this and you should do this, and a lot of times we'll respond and go, okay, well, you pay for it and we'll do that. And people love to tell me what to do with my money, but we were just so on board and went, oh yeah, and it was that defining moment that went, this is something we need to be about, and not only do we need to be about, we already are about it, so why aren't we doing more of it? And so from that point on, again, I'll say this tongue in cheek, but I think this is the truth of it as well. From that point on, the words "restores the love" are thrown around, but it's really what the Hales that pushes it forward. And the only other channel that I've seen do "restores the love" anytime recently is Second Sense. And so it's picking up the momentum and the speed. And I know and Storage Legends has, you know, attempted to do that as well. And Conky, you probably have done it too, and can't even remember it right now. But the whole point and emphasis is it started in another state and it died out there really quick, because that's not the heart of those people in that area particularly, but it is in Ohio and growing in Ohio, and I think that's a great thing. You know, that makes me proud that other people in Ohio, you know, are going that same length and realizing the impact that can have. And so, you know, that was the birth of it as a group. But I think what the Hales kind of took the torch, and you know, I'm saying it about myself. I'm like, I really did. I took the torch and I went, all right, this is what we need to be about. It was eye-opening. It was like, this is literally what we need to be about. And this is, I can tell you specifically, standing up and telling George, I was like, I want the entire channel to go this direction. I want everything on the channel to go this direction. I don't even want to buy storage units to buy storage units. I want to buy them to give them back. And you guys know that it's not physically, humanly possible to buy storage units and try and give them all back. It's so difficult to even give one back, let alone all back. And so that was kind of that defining moment. And we want that to grow. You know, there are certain things that people are passionate about. So I have certain passions that I'm about, and then George has passions that she's about as well. So you know, that as things grow within the business, we can do more within those passion realms as well. The reality is the more videos the viewers watch, the more we can give back. That's, I mean, just hands down, the more videos that viewers watch, the more we can give back to people and show Restores the Love. And we want that to grow much, much bigger. And I think today was a part of that part of the plan for 2021.
I just have one thing about trolls. Okay. Now, like Restores the Love, it's just funny because you do something great. And here's a prime example. Jeebus, he went and bought a bunch of toys, right? And gave them to all these kids. And and there's all these people that gave thumbs down. And I'm just like, the people out there, how the heck do you get, like Jeremy and I gave back this lady her entire unit. She's sitting there crying. Her grandkids getting these toys and people give you a thumbs down on the video. And I'm just like, what kind of person out there gives this a thumbs down? Really? Your life's that horrible that someone helping out, all these people are helping out. Really? You're going to give a thumbs down? I mean, that just shows you the kind of people out there, the trolls. And Jeremy, what did it say, the shirt? I'm burning. I don't want to mention how hot it is in Florida. I'm just burning up and sweating right now. I'm sure.
This is Rough and Rugged race. This was a benefit race. It's like the Warrior Dash that we created when I was running the Christian Camp and Conference Center. So we created this race, which was a benefit race that we did to scholarship kids to go to camp that couldn't afford it.
Oh, by the way, I apologize earlier. You know, my wife put out this whole spread. There's shrimp, There's different cheeses, there's fruit, there's nuts, there's crackers, and I wish I could share it all with you guys. I wish you guys should be here chowing down and the kids.
You know, I could be there in about an hour. You could share with me.
You can, and you're more welcome to show up. You can have some sparkling grape juice with the kids.
Start that bonfire up and
bonfire fun.
I feel like I need to summarize everything I said because I know people take things out of context so much. So with everything that I shared, 2020 was an incredible year, despite all of the situations and circumstances. So incredible that we want to inspire others to be able to move forward, to be fun employed as well, and to restore the love in any way they possibly can. Doesn't matter how small, how big, doesn't matter if it's shown, if it's not shown. We want to inspire people that yes, you can be fun employed, and yes, you can restore the love in any denomination whatsoever, in any way whatsoever. That's our goal. That's what we want to be about. And hopefully nobody takes that out of context.
How can you take that out of context? That's this. Dr. Flippet Thrifts McKay's sent a $5 super chat. Thank you. He's asking, how's Florida treating you and George?
We absolutely love it. We drive with the windows down and literally put our feet out the window. I mean, it's just every day we wake up, I say the same thing to her. I go, this is the smartest thing we've ever done. The chicken are happy, laying eggs like crazy. We're leaving eggs on beaches to see who will steal them, and yeah, it's just we're not on our property yet, and Lord willing, that'll be in a couple days here, hopefully. I shouldn't even say that because I'm going to start getting my hopes up again, but that's the only challenge is we're not on our property yet. So moving business forward, it's pulling the reins back. So that's a difficult thing for me. I'm not one that likes to pull the reins back. I like moving forward. So that's the only challenge is moving forward. But boy, I got to tell you guys, there are some significant YouTubers here in Florida, and we've been here 3 or 4 weeks. We've got meetings lined up with them. We're meeting with 2 YouTubers tomorrow. We've never met before. We reached out and said, will you please teach us? And other mutual subscribers have said, you need to get with these guys. We reached out and said, hey, will you teach us? And they said, yeah, meet us. And so we have another meeting in 2 weeks with another reality TV star. And I promise you this video, when we go, it's gonna knock you off your seat. We have Gatorland coming out to the property. Gatorland, the oldest amusement park in Florida. The staff and team are coming out to the property, and man, there's so many things. There are so many things going on. There are business and future discussions going that direction as well. And so you can now. We've heard from so many of the viewers. No Gators. I mean, they're so ridiculous to us. People are so saturated with fear. And let me share one thing. I will share this very directly. Stop living your life in fear. If you continue to live your life in fear, you will accomplish nothing whatsoever. Period. You're never going to be employed. You're never going to move forward in life. Don't live in fear. And so everybody lives in so much fear, and it seems those are the people that comment the most on our videos about Gators and the whole deal. Instead of going, oh my goodness, Jeremy, you actually could generate millions of dollars buying this piece of property, and you could accomplish this for Restores the Love, and you could accomplish this, and you could, and we don't share the big picture, but there is a big picture. So we're thrilled with the connections that are already being made and the people that we're meeting. And here's another cool thing. we've got the campground that we're staying at. The owners have an ultralight. Guess who's doing ultralight videos? So we're going, guys. I mean, it's crazy. We're going up in ultralights. We have invitation after invitation to go out on the airboats, out through the Keys to go with the dolphins, the manatees, the everything. I mean, the invitations are endless as far as what we can film and do. It's just. It's the only hindrance is we're not on the property yet. We're not on the property, but it's literally what do you want to do today? Do you want to go searching for mastodon teeth or megalodon teeth? Yeah, let's go look for megalodon teeth. Well, if we find one, it's $3 to $5 grand, and we're just the fossils. So we connected. We are going to be with a specialist tomorrow who's already told us. He's like, he's like, I've been all over that town. I have not been on that property, but you absolutely have a ton of Indian artifacts and you absolutely have teeth all over that property. And if we find enough megalodon teeth here in Florida, if you're on a fossil bed and you don't know it and you dig a hole and you find the fossils, you've paid for your property just in fossils. But most people don't realize that, but that's what Florida is. It's one giant fossil bed. So if we find a couple hundred megalodon teeth, and they're megalodon shark's teeth big as your hand, we find a couple hundred of those digging holes, and then sell them, which we would probably not sell all of them, probably hold on to some, but that in itself will pay for the property, and then you buy more, and then you buy more. So the opportunities are endless.
Can I ask a question without? I guess I just run the risk of sounding dumb. What's a megalodon?
Giant shark, ancient shark, huge shark.
Okay.
Yeah, I've had a few of those teeth I found in my career, and good money. Size matters.
Yes, the bigger, the more money.
Okay. So why would they be so far inland on your property? Unless that was, I guess, what was all of Florida underwater at one point? Okay.
You're in
almost underwater already. That's why you can't have a basement. You dig down, you hit water.
Yeah, I knew that.
Storage units.
Or you hit megalodon teeth.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing. Like the tractor that we have coming. So the tractor we have coming, you would go, oh, well, you bought that to work the 70 acres. We bought it for videos for the ASMR channel. So you just put 40 grand into a tractor for an ASMR channel. You guys have no idea what's coming. So it's going to be nice to have it on the actual property, but the property allows us to actually do what we need to do for the videos. There's just a lot coming down the pipeline. My biggest fear right now is that we're not going to be here long enough to get everything accomplished. So here, George just pulled up some megalodon teeth on eBay. So condition and size matters.
Wow.
Now you find a completely intact one, and it's the size of your hand. You're looking at thousands of dollars, just in shark's teeth. Just in shark's teeth. And what most people do out here, they scuba dive. So what happens is during the dry season, which is right now, the water levels go down in all of the creeks. And where do you find majority of the megalodon teeth? In the creeks. Who has a creek running through their 70 acres? We do. And so how many megalodon teeth do you think we're going to find on the property? So even then, there's another treasure hunt. Here's a $25,000 tooth sold on eBay.
Wow. And how big is that one? Okay, I see the guy's hand.
Yeah, it's huge.
Wow.
So the property is probably filled with megalodon teeth. We haven't had a chance to actually look yet. So we know we're going to have the Seminole Indians. We know we're going to have Indian artifacts all over, which is worth money. So the property, when we purchased the property, we didn't buy property just to buy property. And I am getting long-winded because I know we're trying to go to the new year. So we bought the property to make money. It is a business decision.
Well, I suppose in any business or any decision like that you're always going to have people that don't understand what you're doing and will, if they don't see the big picture, they'll how should I put this? They tend to make suggestions that would work out for them, but not so much for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why don't you like if you have a store and you find out that your ideal hours to be open are from like 9 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon or 6 in the evening, because nobody comes in after 6, and they'll suggest, well, why don't you stay open until 1 o'clock in the morning because that's when I shop. Well, you'd be the only one. You know what I mean? So we're going to keep the store open for another 7 hours, 9 hours, because so that you can walk in at 1 o'clock in the morning and get your cheese puffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'll lose money just so you can come in and shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been up all day, Adam. Sorry about that.
I'm yawning too, and I was the one talking.
Yeah. Well, no, you weren't boring me, Jeremy. I was just stretching, put it that way.
A lot of people have left comments because we showed the cypress trees with the cypress knees. So there's a little grove in the middle of the property of cypress trees with cypress knees, and wherever it's like other trees in nature. A river birch is going to grow towards water, right? A willow is going to grow towards water, and so same with cypress. And so people, they're commenting on our video, you bought a swamp, you're an idiot, you bought a swamp. And we're like, yeah, exactly. That's what we wanted. But they can't see the bigger picture. And we don't reveal the big picture. I mean, I guess it's more like the Wizard of Oz. If you were to pull back the veil and I were to share everything with everyone, it would take away the beauty of the mystery of it all. And so in some regards, I want the veil to stay up and everybody go, why the Hales did he do this? And then it will be revealed and revealed and revealed and revealed as time allows. But you realize that people don't get it all.
And the funny thing is, you'll know, I don't want to use the word smart because maybe that's not the right word, but you'll know when people get it, when they have that aha moment. You know what I mean? Some people will get that like up front, and some people won't ever get that at all. But the hardest thing, I would say the hardest thing, I'm just now starting to get used to thinking that way. You know what I mean? Like when I was talking to my buddy yesterday, the one that said he wanted to open a pawn shop, and we were talking about it, and I said, and I was thinking of you, Jeremy, when I said this, but I didn't really necessarily bring you into it. But I said, if you have a pawn shop, one of the worst things that can happen to you is somebody coming in and robbing you, or somebody coming in and they're just so irate that you just want to kick them out of the store, but you can't. You know what I mean? That's a disruption in your business in a normal pawn shop. I said, but if you're on YouTube and somebody walks in and holds you up at gunpoint and you have to call the police, you will make way more than what you handed that guy with a gun to come in and walk out. You know what I mean? You're going to wish you hired him to do that, but then that becomes fake and all that, and you can't have that. But when I said that to him, he kind of had a moment. He got it right away. He's a smart dude. I'm surprised he's not in the chat right now, but he's a smart dude. It's just they're saying something like that to somebody and having them understand it, and then there's trying to get used to thinking like that. You know what I mean? So where normally somebody just wants to deal with a situation, you pull out your phone and you're on it. You know what I mean? How long did it take you to think like that from the time you started to the time you really got it and figured it out, and then started thinking like that? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think we were pretty much on it, realizing that, you know, the way to success in YouTube is people love drama. Don't make it interpersonal relationship drama with other channels or other people, because that'll turn people off. And so that's why we pull away from people. And so, but drama, like my landlord has locked me out of my warehouse facility. That's drama. That is drama. And people on YouTube can't get enough of that. And so, yeah, or somebody breaks in. The one time I screwed up, and I might have mentioned this to you guys before, we had the FBI come to my home, to my door. One of our viewers contacted the FBI because we shared what was on a thumb drive during Sunday night. And the FBI came to my door, and my phone was in my pocket, and I was not smart enough to pick it up and start recording. I was so shocked that the FBI was at my door.
But that's what I'm talking about, Jeremy. You weren't thinking like that yet. You know what I mean?
I wasn't. Well, here's the thing. I was thinking like that because if anything else would have happened, I would have pulled the phone up. But I was too stupid and in shock to actually pull the phone up. And afterwards, I told George, I was like, I'm such an idiot. Well, now I have cameras on my porch in case the FBI ever comes back. Everything's being recorded. So I learned from the mistake. I was like, boy, that was so dumb. That was so dumb. I was in such shock when they went, we're the FBI. And I should have immediately went, but I missed it. And they went, yeah, you know, a viewer called and said that you had these thumb drives. I was like, we wiped them already. They're like, all right, have a good day. And so, you know, but now it's literally the camera. I will tell George all the time. George is not comfortable with most of this stuff, but I will look at her. I'm like, you record and you do not stop recording no matter what happens.
Even if I
like,
get shot.
So like when Mitch broke in, she's like, what happens if you get shot? I went, you record. You don't worry about me. Mitch will be the one that has to be worried about. You don't worry about me. You record. And when we got to the warehouse, Mitch was already gone. So Mitch won on that one. Yeah. But I told her, I was like, you record. Do not interfere with what's going on. All you do is you stand on the outside and you record. And she's not comfortable. Like, I have to tell her all the time, you have to get closer. The volume won't pick up on the microphone. It's over and over and over again. So I don't think George has ever gotten into that rhythm, in a comfort with that rhythm. But me, I'm just, you record.
Yeah. See, like today, I when I went to buy that car today, the guy I bought the car off of, he has this shop where they buy Subarus and they part them out and they sell the parts on eBay and all that. Excuse me. And I was up front with the owner of the shop, Robbie, and I wanted the jump box so I could get this car started. And he comes up front and he goes, come on, come back here. They want us to see something. Like, what do they want us to see? So we walk out the back door of the shop, and I started recording as we were walking out the back door because I said, this is one of those y'all watch this moments. And what they were doing was they had the jump box. They had an airbag detached from the car, but sitting against the windshield inside the car. And he had the wires ran out and he's got a jump box. So he was going to set off this airbag. Like, oh, I got to record this. We're all standing like as far away from the car as we could because those things go off. They go off.
Yeah.
And I recorded. Oh, what is that? Chocolate covered strawberry.
Got the spread today, man.
Man, I should be driving up there now. Anyway, so I record this. And it was awesome. It was just a big explosion. It blew the windshield out and smoke coming out of the car and everything. And I sort of walked around with the phone and I filmed the reactions and all that. I got to a comfortable place where I thought, well, I'll end the recording here. And I hit stop. And it wasn't 20 seconds after I hit stop, out of nowhere, this airbag wasn't energized at all. In fact, it was one that was blown up earlier. There was a secondary charge in the airbag, and it went off, and we were all standing right next to it. It went off, and everybody jumped. And I wished I'd have still been rolling, and caught that, because that would have been the best part of the whole thing. It was only like a minute video anyway, but it would be the whole thing. And I missed it because I shut the stupid thing off. I feel like I want to have a camera going the whole time for my whole life now, and then just edit out the parts that are good and stick them on YouTube.
Chocolate covered strawberry. You want to know what chocolate covered what? Sorry. I know you want to videotape everything, because all the stuff there's so much crazy stuff that happens all the time. Like, people just show up at my shop and just some crazy person, or I'll get some crazy phone call, and it's like, man, I wish I had it on videotape. Because I'm in Cleveland. Sometimes just weird things happen, I have a guy that shows up and he's brought me some stuff he wanted to sell. His whole face is just covered in tattoos. His name is Six, and most of these are prison tattoos. I can tell you that. So, but I mean, just interesting people like that. I love to have on film.
That's about what it sounded like, about a quarter stick of dynamite when that thing went off.
That'd be intense.
Yeah,
now, when we approached the neighbors of the new property, I can tell you that George will not be out recording. So I've already set up a secret cam. It'll be chest cam. And so you guys you've seen plenty of videos with a secret cam. So everything is already set up with the chest cam, and I will approach the neighbors. But George will be in the truck, and I'm going to have her filming from in the truck. And so she'll be in the safety of the truck, and then I'll be secret camming with chest cam, and that'll be fun. That'll be fun, and hopefully that hasn't happened yet, but hopefully that happens soon. And that video, I promise you, George and I have already talked about. I told George, I was like, our next viral video is when we show the arson that happened in this town, and we approach the neighbors.
So who's going to be packing the heat, you or her, or both?
I'll be carrying it.
Yeah. Does George shoot?
Do you remember that Sig mosquito that we found that in the Akron unit in the file cabinet? So I brought the Sig mosquito down for her. So she has shot in the past, and so she was before me. She was dating a cop. Cleveland cop killed somebody, and he went through horrible. And it's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why we always get a picture with George with the cop and the whole thing. It's all inside jokes. Our entire channel, the entire channel is inside jokes. So for us, it's all inside jokes. So that's pulled her back from it a little bit. But I brought probably 500 rounds for the Sig mosquito for her to mess around with. But I don't know if I can actually get her to carry it. I think when she's on the property, she'll carry it, but off the property, she probably won't carry it.
I think Jeremy just froze up.
Someone said 6 cents. Did you buy all the Batman stuff that Jeremy found? 6 cents. I wish I bought this stuff that Jeremy found. I saw it, that video. I'll have to buy it at his auction on Sunday.
Again?
What's that, Jeremy?
Are you unfrozen?
Did you lose me again?
Yeah, you froze up for a second.
But I'm about to get off, guys. I know you want to go all night. I might, if you're going to keep going, I might pop back on. But I got to go spend some time with the kids. Have some more chocolate covered strawberries and cheese and fruit and conky. Hopefully you'll be here. You can get here before midnight.
Now you're making me. You're half making me hungry, half making me just want to head up there and raid your
shrimp. Cocktail. Oh, there's just so much stuff. Come on up.
Oh, I'm telling you. I don't know. Maybe I might. I probably won't. You know.
We send Noreen up. She could bring a plate back.
Yeah.
There you go.
She got me one of those like meat and cheese trays with the crackers and the cheeses and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was snacking on that earlier, but we just got a pizza for dinner.
Ooh, pizza sounds good.
Yep, plain old cheese pizza. They, another guy came over and I was talking to him about YouTube too, and he wants to do. And I'd never heard of this, but it makes sense. He wants to do like pizza tasting videos where you rate pizza shops.
There's everything on YouTube.
And he says that now if you're doing a pizza video and you're rating a pizza shop, you have to get a just cheese pizza. You can't get any toppings on it. I'm like, okay, I didn't know that. I guess that, you learn something new every day, and I can go home now, Yeah, he knows all about that stuff, so that's somebody else. And I don't mean to, that's the funny thing. He's the guy that comes and gets my scrap metal when I have scrap metal. And I didn't expect him to say this, but he says, I have the most viewed Buick Riviera video on YouTube. I said, huh? I says, is it one of your cars? Because I know he's got 3 Buick Rivieras. He says, no, it's a buddy of mine, but it's got close to 1 million views. I says, you've got a video that has almost 1 million views? Yeah, it's like 900 and some thousand. It's the most viewed Buick Riviera. He says, in fact, I got a check for $600 when it came out. Well, I guess it came out like 8 years ago. And he showed me the video. It's just a video of this car starting and backing out of a parking space and taking off. And he says, I wonder why I don't get any more money for it. I said, well, all those views were probably years ago. And, if you didn't keep your AdSense account active, you're probably not getting anything out of it. So you got to make sure your AdSense account active. He says, yeah, I'm going to have to do that. They sent me something on that. And I said, well, do you still know the guy that has that car? He says, yeah, in fact, I have a bunch of video of it. Like, well, why don't you put together a video of it and re-release it? I said, make it at least 8 minutes long. And I explained to him about the mid-roll ads and all that. And re-release the video. I said, if it does another 1 million views, I said, that's like thousands of dollars in your pocket. Why don't you do it? He goes, yeah, I guess I should do that.
Yeah.
So see, Jeremy got me started in it. Now I'm running around talking to all these people trying to get them started in it.
And I tell people, they ask me, they go, Rob, this YouTube, because they see me doing it, they're like, should I start? I said, listen, I tell people all the time, you can start it. The hardest thing to do, and I'm not trying to discourage anybody, I'm just telling people the fact. The hardest thing is just put out videos. The hardest thing is to actually do it. It's just like anything else in life. You can't be afraid. You can't have fear, and you just got to actually do it. You can sit there and talk about making a video and talk about starting a YouTube channel or talk about becoming a resale or self-employed or fun employed. Or all this. You could talk. I have so many friends. That's all they did their whole life is talk. None of them ever did. We talked about buying real estate. Guess who bought all the real estate? I did. We talked about starting our own companies. Guess who started their own company? I did. None of them did. Okay. But they still, till this day, they're 40-some years old. They're still talking about doing it. Still talking about buying houses and rental properties and this and that. And that. Talk's cheap. The thing is, it's never too late. People are like, when can I start? Start now, today, tomorrow, whatever. Start. That's the hardest thing to do is actually start doing it. And like Jeremy said, Rob, start these videos, start your videos. He told me probably for 3 months before I finally started. The hardest thing to do is start. And that's what I'm telling everyone that's listening tonight. If there's anything out there that you want to do or fail that you haven't done yet and you want to get it done in your life, do it. Start. What's holding you back besides the fear? And that's the biggest thing in life. It'll stop people from doing anything. And however you want to say fear, excuses, whatever you're going to use to stop yourself, like, well, I would do it, but I could do it, but, or should have, what? No more excuses. No more. Just do it. That's the hardest thing there is to do. And I tell everyone the same thing. You want to start a YouTube channel? Do it, but you got to do it. You got to do videos. You got to edit. It's another job. It's not like I'm just going to film, put out a video. I'm going to become famous. I'm going to be the next YouTube star. I'm going to have 27 million followers. I'm going to be a millionaire overnight and everything else. Maybe that will happen for you, and I hope it does. But most people, it's actually hard work. It's actually a job that you actually have to do stuff. And Jeremy will tell you, because he works harder than anyone else at YouTube, then I know that it's a job, and you need to do it. And anything else you're going to do in life is not easy. Nothing comes easy in life. You actually have to work for things. There's a one small percent of people that get stuff handed to them. Things come super easy. They make a video like the guy skateboarding and he becomes a viral video star. He has a song in the background. He meets Stevie Nicks and the whole Fleetwood Mac band and all this other stuff. And he's hanging out with Snoop Dogg. And okay, that doesn't happen often. Okay, just do it. That's all I want to tell people. And you got to be consistent and keep up with whatever you want to do in life, to become a pawn shop dealer or whatever. Just actually open the pawn shop and do it, or whatever you want to do in your life. Sorry. There's my little rant for the day.
Well, the other way to become famous is to hit somebody upside the head with a twisted tea can.
I just saw the video for the first time. Okay, yesterday, my buddy goes, my business partner Joe, do you guys know about the twisted tea? I'm like, what are you talking about? You don't know, it's the biggest video out there, and it happened in Alaria. I'm like, no. So
where I grew up.
Wow, what a video that was, huh?
I've never seen it. What's it about?
Dude, can't even tell you. You got to watch. Just watch the video. Go put in Twisted Tea video right now on your phone, Conky. Step away for a minute. Shut the volume down. But watch the video. Put uncut Twisted Tea video. It takes about 1 minute, the video, but it will change your thinking of Twisted Tea.
That bad?
That's a complication.
Everybody's saying right now 2020 came in with Corona, but it's going out with Twisted Tea.
Y'all have to check that one out. My phone's in the other room. Otherwise, I would text Noreen to bring me a bottle of water or something.
Yeah, but you got to check out the Twisted Tea video. I just saw it the other day, and it is ridiculous.
A minute long, huh?
Yeah, it's like a minute or something. It's not a very long video, but there's some cussing in there. And a little bit of ultra violence.
So is it monetized?
I doubt it. There's no way
it's all over the world right now, and every meme is about it.
She must have been watching.
Bring your phone. Watch the Twisted Tea video. Just put uncut Twisted Tea video on YouTube.
They're saying something about Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea.
Twisted Tea.
Just Google uncut Twisted Tea video. That's all you got to Google. It'll pop. It'll be the first thing pops up.
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll check it out. Bring me my phone when you get a chance, will you? It's in there somewhere.
People are making Twisted Tea shirts. I have about 20 requests so far.
Wow.
Oh, man.
No, but going back to something you said, Rob, a wise man once said, and let's see if I can get this right without screwing up, because it's been a while since I've heard him say this. Character is determined by... Oh, thank you. I got my phone. What did he say? Something about being able to carry out a task long after the emotion that prompted that task wears off. You know what I mean? So if you watch something, if you watch YouTube videos all day, and you say, "Oh, I got to start my YouTube channel," you know, you're pumped with that emotion of, "I want to start my YouTube channel. I want to do this. I want to do that." Well, that's going to wear off. You have to be able to, you know, get through the uploading a video and thinking it's the most awesome thing you've ever done, and then it gets 35 views in a week. And then you have to do it all over again, and again and again and again. Just keep doing it. I guess, I don't know.
And like Jeremy one time told me, he goes, "Rob, you know, YouTube, it's peaks and valleys." You know what I'm saying? It's not like there's a line that just goes straight up. It's not like the stock market, you know, nothing goes straight up. There's ups, then there'll be a peak, you know, but he said, you know, the lowest low is usually higher than the last low, and the next peak is higher than the other peak. And it's always going to be up and down. There's going to be times there's months you're going to make way more money than other months. You're going to get more views sometimes than other months, and it's never, you know, but higher peaks and lower valleys, and then it just keeps going. But you got to stick through it, and it's easy really quickly to be, oh no, to get down on yourself, or man, I put all this time in this video and it's got no views, and you think it's like one of your best videos, but then you'll put out a video that you might think, this video is not as good as my last couple of videos, and then it does better than all the videos you just put out. There's no rhyme or reason sometimes in this world. I mean, sometimes your thumbnail was better, your title was something made a better video for the people click on it more. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out.
I am too, but I just recently realized and decided that I have to do more than just buy storage units and film that. Because if that's all I'm relying on, then there's going to be months in between, like the winter months particularly, in between the videos. So that's why I'm going to be doing the toy restoration videos. I'm even going to this car I just bought. One of the things I was thinking of when I bought it is the interior of this thing is so filthy. That's going to make a good video cleaning it up. You know what I mean?
You show people how to do. They want to see how to restore the interior of a car.
Yeah.
Great. Something in that title. And that video for 10, 15 years, people are going to click on that video because someone's going to go, I need how to clean out a car, restore interior of a car. That pops up. They click on your video and boom.
Yep, that's what I want. Something that's timeless,
And the other thing about YouTube, one thing I have one video right now. I have no clue why, but the video, like, it did decent in the beginning. Then probably, I don't know, 40 days after the video was up, all of a sudden it just took off, and it's been out for like 100 days now. It's still averaging like 150 to 200 views a day, which ain't for me it's a lot, But yeah. I mean, it's I think at 27,000 views now.
Wow.
And it's like 100-day-old video. But once again, no rhyme or reason. The first 30 days the video did as typical as every other video. And then some reason it got caught in the algorithm or whatever else. And that video, it just keeps getting views consistently. Every time I look in like the last 48 hours, it's either between 360 to 450 views, every time. For the last 60 days, it's been that way.
Yeah, see, I've had things show up in my feed, videos that are 8 years old, and I'll watch it, and then I'll go down and look at the comments, and you'll see where it had a few comments when it was brand new, but then 8 years later, there's all these new comments, and everybody's saying, why did this just show up in my feed now? Why didn't I see this 8 years ago? You know what I mean? I don't know what it is.
I can tell you why if you want to know.
Let's hear it.
So what will happen? So probably what happened with you, Rob, and probably what happened with the video 8 years ago. Somebody else will make a video, and that video will get caught up in the algorithm. And whenever that video, the new video, gets caught up in the algorithm, there's always suggested or recommended like-minded title-wise or content. So let's say Rob's video that's getting the views now. Let's say I found a safe, and one of my safe videos is going viral. And if somebody goes and watches one of my safe videos, if you guys title like me, or it's the same content, which it is, what will happen is YouTube will recommend your video, your safe video, because the person who's watching my safe video likes to watch safe videos. And so the recommendations will pick it up. So what that will do is resurrect a dead video because somebody made a new video, which then YouTube, the AI, the artificial intelligence goes, whoop, well, if you like that one, check this one out. That was done a while ago. So what it does is those videos get picked back up in the recommended.
Huh.
See, I love learning.
Works. Neat.
Happy New Year in somewhere. We missed it 16 minutes ago. There's New Year somewhere in the world.
I watch. There's a guy. As far as the Hot Wheels and Matchbox, there's a guy called Marty's Matchbox Makeovers. That's pretty good that I watch. And then there's a few like Bare Metal Hot Wheel or Bare Metal HW and some of those guys. And so, yeah, I watch a lot of the toy restoration videos, and that's kind of what's inspiring the the remodel of the basement into a studio for doing toy restorations, but that won't be up and running probably for another 2 months.
That's one of the things that we're going to put in the Florida warehouse. We're going to put a filming studio in there, and I think that's going to be a game changer. You know, just you have that designated space is going to be a game changer.
Yeah, you need it. I mean, I'm even toying around with the idea of having an area where I do the unboxing for the storage units. Yeah, and I would be even open about it. I mean, it will look like a storage. It'll have the corrugated cardboard or corrugated metal and all that, so it look like a storage unit, but it'd be, you know, my unboxing area.
Yeah.
So that I could control the sound, the lighting, the temperature, you know, the camera angles and all that. You know what I mean?
That's huge. That is huge.
If I ever get a chance to unload, because I still got that Wooster unit in the back of my truck. If I ever get a chance to unload that, I'm going to put in little clips of the video where I was trying to do it from the storage unit. And we were at the one that's right there by, what is that, route? Is that 3 there? Where I bought my, is that route 3 that goes past there, or is that something else that goes from Wooster to?
That's route 3.
Is it? Well, I mean, there's trucks running up and down there, and they're like 50 feet away using the Jake brake, and you couldn't hear. It was awful, you know, between that and the wind noise. So
I was filming on Christmas Eve. You guys remember what happened Christmas? Well, Jeremy does remember. It happened up here on Christmas Eve. Snowstorm.
Yeah.
Horrible snowstorm.
Yep.
Okay. And it usually takes me 15 minutes to get to the storage facility, public storage in Bedford for my shop. Took me like a half hour to get there. It was the roads were that bad. Everyone's going 35, 40 on the highway. My guy with me, he's like, you know, really, Rob, we're going on the storage unit at Christmas Eve. Of course, that's why I'm on AA tonight, people. I have a problem, okay? And I'm out there Christmas Eve. I'm filming, you know. He thinks I'm crazy. My wife and kids think I'm crazy. You know, it's Christmas Eve. What the heck are you doing? This is what I love to do, people. It's, you know, what am I going to do? So I'm out there filming. Snow's coming down. I'm making snow angels for my short videos and things like that. And but once again, you know, you're trying to film. It's dark. There's snow. There's wind. You're next to the highway. People beeping. Cars honking. You know, all this stuff. Just like sometimes I'm doing the video, I'm doing, you know, trains go by. You know what I'm saying? There's all kind of problems that come into the real world. Your phone gets, you know, someone calls you on your phone, or someone else is with you, their phone goes off. You know, there's just one thing after another that can happen. So yeah, if you can control the environment, the better.
Yeah. Of course, there'll be more people saying fake, but
they're gonna say that about every single video you put out, no matter what. No matter what.
And they can say it's all fake, but let me tell you something. I can contest. Trust me. I mean, we found gold, Harley Davidsons, antiques, collectibles, everything you can imagine in a storage locker. People are like, is it like, it's not like it's like on TV. It's not like that, but it is like that. I mean, there's times you're going to find unbelievable things, but there's also times you don't get, it's not every unit's going to be, I found gold rings and silver coins in a safe and a Harley Davidson. You know, sometimes you're going to find purses and clothes and adult toys, and you know what I'm saying.
Plenty of those.
Yeah, stuff you don't want.
Conky goes, I got plenty of those.
That's his other channel coming out next year, ladies and gentlemen. Conky's Flippin' Adventures.
Adult toy style.
Adult toy style.
No, there's nothing like an innocent box coming across a toy, so to speak.
Isn't that a foot massager?
No,
it's not.
Toothbrush?
No. Yeah, trust me, I found that's storage units. I mean, even a blow up doll before. I mean,
I found my Vince's unit had 3 of them in there.
Vince liked the triplets.
And Conky sold one of them.
No, what's funny is, and I know my buddy's not watching, so it's safe. We kept one of them and put it back in the box. and we're gonna go out to eat with my buddy and his wife, which is my cousin, and we're gonna wrap up one of them for his birthday in the kind of wrapping paper that you just can't, like, that rips really bad that you can't put back on. And we're gonna give it to him at a restaurant. I can't wait.
Now, if you could just hook up something to make it automatically inflate.
Like the rescue rafts.
Yeah, like that. Put an airbag in it, Conky.
Yeah, there you go.
You might put his eye out. Be careful.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be hilarious.
Are you guys really staying on the minute?
I guess, yeah. If Jeremy's in and you're in, I'm in. And even if you want to,
I'm gonna go spend some time with the kids before they hate me.
they could already hate you. I mean, it is 11:20 or 11:23.
I'm telling you.
So
They're probably like, Dad, you've been online for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I did take a break for 10 minutes to eat some strawberries and fruit.
yeah. Well, and Guapo could come back. He could get his phone charged up and come back in.
He's
Dude,
partying
wow.
hard with his mom.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's 1999 over there, dude.
Who doesn't love partying with their mom, I guess?
My mom won't even let me come. I'm not cool enough, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I remember years ago. Now, my parents were old school. They would get dressed up on a New Year's Eve. I mean, dressed up. And they'd go to the, because my dad was a Mason. So they'd go to the Shriners Hall on New Year's Eve and, go till, midnight or shortly after midnight. And then you'd have to figure out who was drunk and who wasn't. And the sober people had to drive the drunk people home. And, it was a whole big production. But I remember going to a few of those with them back in my, when I was Guapo's age. Well, actually, younger than Guapo. I was probably in my earlier 20s than that. Earlier 20s, late teens. But yeah, that was always fun. Going to a fancy party with your parents and not being a kid,
Well, I worked in hotels and restaurants in my life. So almost every New Year's Eve, I attended the biggest parties, but I worked. And the point, like I remember a few New Year's Eve, I got a hotel room at, I worked in the hotels, and my wife would stay at the hotel. I would come in at midnight. I'd be there maybe 10 minutes before midnight. We celebrate the new year, have a little toast of champagne or something. Then I go back out and make sure all the drunk people, no one was getting stupid, and make sure everyone gets to bed. And because, when you're in a hotel and you have a party with 500 people and sometimes 1,000 people and everyone's getting a little crazy, you won't believe what people will do when they get drunk.
So you were basically a bouncer.
I wish I was doing YouTube then.
That would have been crazy.
I had people getting on tables, getting naked before. I had people peeing in stairwells. I had people getting in fights. I had people, everything you could imagine that you could ever, police getting called all the time. Oh, okay. I'll tell you one crazy story before I let you all go, before I have to go back over. But one time, working in a hotel, a Somalian wedding, in Columbus, Ohio. And most people don't know about Somalians. There's no invitation for a wedding. It's all word of mouth. And there's a huge Somalian population in Ohio, which a lot of people don't know. But after the stuff happened in Somalia, a lot of refugees came, and some reason they came to Ohio. Anyways, we had this wedding, word of mouth. The guy, the head father, very wealthy man, said no one can come in that's dressed in jeans, tennis shoes, T-shirt. Everyone has to be dressed up. Don't let anyone that's not dressed up. Okay. Kept showing up. The room only held 500. We had 600 people in the room. We had to say we can't take anybody more. It's 9 o'clock. Okay. By 11 o'clock at night, there's probably 1,200 people in the parking lot.
Oh, jeez.
They're trying to get into the hotel to get into the party. We had to lock every entrance of the hotel. I'm standing outside with 2 Columbus police officers, right? All of a sudden, about 600 to 700 of them charged the door. It's me and 2 Columbus police officers with 600 to 700 Somalians charging the door. They get on the radio like, we need backup now. Da, 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 da. I'm just like fair. I go to the general manager. I'm an idiot. I'm outside with the cops. I go to the general manager, lock the door. That was dumb. I should have went inside and then locked the door. What was I thinking? I'm standing out there. Next thing you know, within 2 minutes, there had to be 20 police cars. Columbus, Dublin, Whitehall, every city around sent cop cars, man. And I'm like thinking like Black Hawk Down. That's but that I mean, just imagine that on YouTube. You
That
want
would
to
have been cool.
I mean, what a hotel manager almost gets trampled by wedding goers or whatever, But
Wedding
the door.
Actual wedding crashers. But yeah, I mean, just crazy things like that. Things you would never, that would never happen in normal life, And then, I'm trying to control a situation that's completely out of control.
So what happened? Did they arrest any of them, or did they?
They didn't arrest anybody. They told everyone basically you can hang out in the parking lot. Just you're not allowed into the hotel. The wedding, the bride and groom appreciate all you coming out. It's packed to capacity. Enjoy, just hang outside. And they just partied outside, dude, in the parking lot, right till like 2:30 in the morning. But,
wow.
And like it's a different culture, different type of people, and I had the luxury of being in almost every type of wedding you could imagine, from Jewish weddings to Indian weddings to Greek weddings where they're breaking glass plates. So all kind of fun, interesting things. But yeah, New Year's Eve, most of the time I spent it working. Almost all holidays I spent working. So I was never a guy to celebrate New Year's Eve and get party. I'm the guy who was, hey, you've had a few too many. Let's my bartender says, you can't have any more. Why don't you have some coffee, or here's some free food on me, and go back to your room, You get a little out of control. So my goal is, when you're running any business, you don't want to rush your customers or throw them in jail or have, you try to de-escalate the situation. And then worst case scenario, then you have to get police involved or whatever and have the people escorted out. But your goal is just to have the person, everyone gets a little crazy sometimes, and just get them back to the room.
Well, at least they had a room to get to, and they weren't going to try to, leave, driving drunk.
Oh yeah, and you find people passed down the hallway and they have no ID on them. It's like, okay, 500 room hotel. It's like, what do you do with this guy? Just some dude just passed down the hallway. Good day. That's why people don't abuse alcohol, please. You just look stupid.
Yeah. But they don't.
Good drive.
They think sing better, and
All right, I'll be back to say Happy New Year, and then we got to say our prayer afterwards.
Yep. Hopefully Guapo will come back, and we'll be the four of us.
I'm going to call him right now.
Guapo ain't coming back.
Here, I'm going to call him on speakerphone.
See if he answers.
He probably
Party 1999.
got print on right.
Is it ringing?
Hold on. I got 5,000 phone numbers on my phone.
Remember Y2K, when everybody was afraid that the world was going to end?
Yeah.
Y2K.
We were telling our kid at work today that Shane, he's 18, about Y2K. We're like, dude, everyone thought the world was going to be over.
Planes were going to drop out of the sky.
Robert. Storage Legends, you're live right now on AA.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Guapo from Storage Legends, and I am bringing in the New Year's with you as well as my mother. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, Guapo.
Are you going to pop back on at midnight?
Jeremy picks his nose and eats his boogers. Did I say that out loud?
You did not say that out loud.
Okay. I hope Jeremy can't hear me, but he told me not to tell anybody.
No, he's frozen right now.
Okay, don't tell him that I told you. He does pick his right nostril and eats it off camera, guys.
He's doing it on camera, actually.
Say nothing, guys. Don't say nothing. Get me in trouble.
The Legends of Lorraine.
Hey, guys, and the legend continues.
And the legend continues. All right, we'll see it.
Will Jeremy get his booger out of his nose? And the legend continues.
So I could just put Guapo here while I go back. Are you gonna come back on, Guapo?
I'm gonna try, man. I'm kind of sitting by my charger right now. Oh yeah. Let me see, what time is it? 11:32. Yeah, give me. Yeah. Yep. You want? Are you guys taking in the New Year?
They're waiting for you, buddy.
We're going all the way till the New Year.
Sir, the New Year's coming in 30 minutes.
Right. We got one person watching right now.
At least one.
That's just true. Is that you, Guapo, watching? Don't shut off your phone, please.
I won't. No, I won't. Give me like 10 minutes. I'm gonna try to see if I can get this together. My connection's terrible. I don't got Wi-Fi.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
I love you guys more than I love the other side of the pillow. You guys are cooler than the other side of the pillow when the pillow's hot. Bye.
Oh man, now we have no watchers.
With Guapo.
Really? No one's watching?
No, I was joking, George.
Nasty. How did he know that you pick your nose and eat your boogers?
I don't know how he knew.
His
saw
right,
that.
he was so he's picking his right nostril.
Video.
How many people are on watching still?
Says 142 on my thing.
Woo!
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Ringing in the new year with 142.
There are people who are just as what word do I want to use as us.
I just said 137.
Yeah, we just dropped.
I'll be right back.
Well, it says 138 on mine. So 4 people just said, yeah, what are we doing with these idiots watching them on YouTube? We could be partying with our family or something. Yeah,
Let's see if Andrew jumps back in or not. I don't think Andrew jumps back in. What do you think?
I think he will, but not when he says he will. I think he'll jump back in at like right when we're going off. Right when we're signing off, he'll jump back in. Remember last week on Christmas Eve, he jumped in at what were we on for like 40 minutes before he jumped in?
Yeah.
And that after that, I don't know if anybody knows this, but after that, it was snowing around here, and we had to go drop everybody off at home because everybody that came over, we had to take them home. So that was fun in a snowstorm.
You don't have snow right now, do you?
No, a little dusting, but nothing. You know, all that went away within a couple of days, and then we got like a dusting, so it's not that bad.
I wanted, with all my heart, I wanted to see iguanas falling out of trees. Just to tell you guys, hey, it's snowing in Florida. It's snowing iguanas.
So you never actually got to see even one iguana drop?
Didn't get to see one iguana drop, but that makes sense because we spent all the time on beaches, so kind of makes sense since we weren't anywhere near trees.
Well, where you are now and going into January, you should get to see some dropping iguanas, shouldn't you?
Well, where we're at, I don't think the iguana population. So we're in what's called Old Florida. So there's different areas of Florida, and we're in Old Florida, which is appropriately named. There is a lot of old stuff and a lot of cool stuff, but it typically gets a little bit cooler up here. So you're not going to see as many iguanas. You're not going to see as many, like the pythons that are out of control. Those are down in the Everglades. You're not going to see that up here. You will see bear, panthers, snake, alligator. So here's the one thing. Today, George and I, we are going over to the creek. So again, one of the allures of the property is the water. We wanted the water. The 70 acres has such a diversity on the 70 acres. We get multiple ecosystems, and that lends itself so well to YouTube and to filming. And so George said today, because we were just down south and I called in an alligator. So we went to the 6 Mile Cypress Trail, and I called in an alligator. Nobody saw this alligator in the pond, and I used a baby alligator distress call, which will boom, it'll bring an alligator immediately. So I turned it on as we went to this pond, and this 4.5 foot, 5 foot alligator just like whoosh, out of nowhere came up. And so George goes today, she goes, hey, let's go over to the creek, because there's a little public access area to the creek by the main road, but not anywhere near our property. And we've been told by the locals that all the alligators breed over there, and the eggs hatch in our creek. And so, which is just going to be amazing with hearing the alligators. I mean, all of that's going to be filmed, all of it. So she goes, well, let's go do the baby alligator, call today over at the access of the creek near the road. And a lot of the locals will go fishing there. And so we went over there, and there were 2 kids there. And I told George, I said, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to call a gator in with 2 kids here. And I said, that's not, even though they're locals, they know what to do. So we asked the kids, we were like, hey, you guys ever seen a gator here? And the one kid goes, yeah. He goes, we got one just a couple months ago. And we were like, what do you mean you got one? He goes, we got a 13-footer out of here. I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, one of my friends had a tag, and we got the 13-footer out of here. And George and I just looked at each other like, So you would have had to seen this kid. And so George later, she goes, this was funny to us because you would have had to seen this kid to understand how funny this was. And she goes, do you believe there was a 13-footer in there? And I go, do you believe that I believe the 200-pound 10-year-old? So we were both laughing. And I doubt it was a 13-footer. I'm sure it was, there was a gator in there. We've heard enough already that they're, gators, but we were gonna run a little experiment. And the other thing we do, we've got the O lights, so we haven't gone out shining the creek yet with the O lights. What we want to do is we want to shine in the pond that we have on the property. But and that pond's all going to be expanded as well. That's going to be a huge expansion of that pond. We've been so busy doing other things, we actually haven't gone out. But that's one of the things we will do. We'll go out and try and find the gators at night and film that, and that, I mean, it just lends itself so well to ASMR stuff. It'll be fun. No iguanas though.
No iguanas. Well,
no iguanas.
So you're going to have to catch, if you want to watch iguanas fall, you're going to have to pick a night where it gets cold further south, and then just like go south. And
well, it got down to Brett was telling me, Brett's the campground owner, while we were in Sanibel, it got down to like 28, 20, 20, 27, 26, 25. I think he said 25. He said it was like down to 25. That was the coldest it got. This winter has been the coldest winter in Florida's history of the past. It's either 20 years or 40 years, one or the other. So the beautiful part is, how incredible Ohio Falls are. So in the morning it's chilly and you need to wear a hoodie, and by the afternoon you're in t-shirt and shorts. And that's the way it is. It's so perfect. So I love wearing the hoodie. I love the hoodie in the storage units, because I don't wear the hoodie because I look so amazing in a hoodie. Although everybody may find that hard to believe, I understand. But the hoodie, this is the thickest actual hoodie that you can get. They're extremely hot. But I buy the thickest material. These hoodies are not cheap. I think this one probably cost me roughly $80-90, and it's because of the thickness of the material. And I get the thickest material because it protects me in the actual storage units from everything that's trying to cut me. I mean, if you were to look at my arms and actually see my arms up close and my legs, I'm nothing but scars. I'm scars everywhere, because everything in the storage unit comes out at you when you're pulling and you're moving and you're twisting. and it's all there. It's all there trying to cut you. And so the hoodies and the weather that we're getting is absolutely perfect for storage units, because I'm protected in the storage units and I'm not overly hot in the storage units. So the weather is just amazing. But that evening there would have been iguanas falling out of the trees everywhere if they were here.
Yeah, that's good. That would be an interesting video. I suppose you could find a video of that on YouTube, but it wouldn't be on What the Hales.
Yet.
Yeah.
Don't think that it won't be, because it's just yet. But there's just so many cool things, to film, so many opportunities. But the only hindrance right now is we're not actually on the property. Yeah. And we need to get on the property. We need to prep the property, and preparation right now is really twofold. We need to prep the inside of the house. In other words, gut it, take everything out, and that's going to become our storage facility temporarily. Then we need to prep for the camper. We need to get all the plugins and hookups to pull the camper over there. So we've already determined we're going to stay at the campground. Whenever we get to the property, we're still going to leave the camper at the campground for another month while we prep the property, but we'll be on the property, and that's what's most important. And then once we get the property prepped, and then we get the tractor, and then we get the trailers, and then we get, and then we're rolling and moving forward and videoing, and really the sky's the limit at that time. But that crucial domino has got to get knocked over. The properties in the business name.
Yeah, I know you feel like you're being held back by not being able to get on the property.
I think the biggest thing is financially it's a holdback, because it's not on the books for 2020, and it needed to be on the books for 2020. I planned everything. If George just fell asleep, but if George were in the camera right now, she would tell you I'm the most organized man she's ever met, and every dollar was planned with my CPA. So to be at a certain point of where I wanted to be in regards to taxes and giving and all of those things. So that throws a major wrench into the finances. And then the other thing is generating income for 2021. It throws me a month off, and then that throws everything off in regards to building as well.
Yeah. Well, your accountant may have mentioned this to you. Next year is with the administration coming in. You might be better off with your 2020 write-ups going into 2021 anyway. So
one of the things he wanted me to do, for those that may be me watching, I think this is good wisdom from a CPA. He wanted me to not do any financial contributions, any gifts. He wanted me to hold my spending back until 2021. And the reason is Biden, pure and simple. It's because of Biden. And his Biden is going to increase my taxes significantly. Now, I'm already in the 45 percentile. So what that means is for every dollar I make, the government gets $45. Every dollar I make, I am in the 45 percentile. Every dollar I make, I give 45 cents of it away immediately, straight from the top, unless I actually do things to bring those taxes down, charitable giving, business expenses, and we can go on and on and on as far as what you can do. You're never going to be able to spend enough to get completely out of that. But your goal is to maximize those deductions. There you go. We've said that enough times.
Donna, there are videos of my voice. Look at my toy videos, the ones where that has the wheel car, the little car on there, and they spin around on the turnstile. That's what those are for. That's me talking about the toys, but that's pretty much
gift.
What's that, Rob?
Adam's salted mixed nuts. Don't you remember these when you were a kid? They're the best.
That's what we are. Mixed nuts.
Here, put it back on full screen.
Yeah.
So I gave these to my kids the other day. I said, man, when I was a kid, such a special treat. Have some of these.
Oh.
The old snake in the can.
Cute.
So that's the fun part of doing what we do is, I mean, where are you going to find a snake in the can? Besides, I bring my kids home crazy things and they probably think, when they're older, they're going to be like, man, my dad was a lunatic, but they're going to remember all those crazy things I brought home. My son plays with Tonka trucks and slot cars and model trains. And
well, my dad, I forget whether I said this on the video or not. When I was redoing the basement, making the room for the new studio down there, I found a pocket knife that my dad had brought me when I was a kid. And I'd been looking for that knife for years and years and years and years and years. I finally found it. And it's got a little metal catch in it. So if you hold the knife like upright and you squeeze it, the blade will pop out, you can open it up. But if you hold it any other way, you cannot open it for anything.
Huh.
So he told me it's a blow knife. He says, you're supposed to blow it. And he'd take the knife in his hands and he'd go, and as he was doing that, he'd hit the thing and here. And then he'd shut it and hand it to me. He says, here, you're blowing it and see if you can open it. And they're going, and I can't get the stupid knife open. And, he let me do that for a while. And then he showed me, how the knife worked. But, I remember that. I was probably like 9 when he brought that thing home. You know what I mean? And it was kind of neat that I found the knife last week. But that's, just a memory I have of my dad that, because I lost my dad when I was 20. My dad died in 91, so I was 24 when he passed away. So,
That's awesome. That's why people, the stuff we do, sometimes we'll find that thing and it just, boom, brings back that memory from you were a kid. And that's why I love the auction business, is because I reconnect people with those memories. So, and you guys do too with your auctions. And people will be like, man, I had that when I was a kid, or I remember my aunt had this, or whatever it is. People have that emotional connection to things.
Well, you remember when you opened that trunk and I saw that General Lee sitting in there shortly before I liberated you from it.
Actually, the only thing I remember is 2 hands going in and you grabbing it and running. You were like this, I'm taking that.
That was so funny. That was completely unplanned. If you watch that video, if you go back and watch that video, it almost, if somebody said, yeah, they talked about this first, that Conky was going to take the car. No, just open it up. I freaked out, grabbed it, walked away with it.
Conky, it was meant to be.
That was a fun unit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we had too much fun filming that. Oh, man. So good. And so many great videos, so many great things came out of the unit. And, man, it was very profitable, too.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
Is everything
on his channel? I sold a bunch at auction, and I remember months later I gave Jeremy some more money. He goes, "What's this from?" I said, "From that unit. There's more stuff I had to sell from it,
So is there some more left over from that you guys haven't sold yet?
No, we sold everything, but it took a while because I sold we had all those trunks. I put all those trunks. I finally sold those in a furniture auction stuff, and I don't know, just random things that didn't fit in with the trains and the model, the stuff that not in the toy train auction that we sold most of the stuff in there, the stuff that Jeremy took to sell on his online auctions. He took some of the jewelry and some stamps, and I can't remember what else. There's some of the toys. And
I still have, I forget whose auction I bought this in. I think I bought this in your auction, Rob.
You did.
I tried, there were 2 of these, or there were 2 or 3 of them.
2.
There were 2? Okay. I tried, because Jeremy sold one in his Sunday night auction, and then you sold one in yours. And I bid on the one in Jeremy's auction, and I couldn't get to it. It was just, I forget what it went for, but it was a lot of money. And then I picked this up in yours. But it's that Mickey Mouse.
Which is Jeremy's auction.
Jeremy gets good money for his stuff, doesn't he?
Well, I tell people all the time, because people are like, Rob, why do you don't sell stuff on eBay? You should sell stuff. I said auction. We all know there's times we sell things and we should get more money for it. But there's times you sell things and you'll never get that amount of money on eBay or anywhere else. It's just I tell people all the time, where do the record sales come from? It always is at auction. This sold for this amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's where always set the record. And it doesn't matter what you're. I mean, sometimes if you get two people that are emotionally attached or more, and they fall in love with those items, they could go for. I mean, monetary value means nothing at that point in time. The emotional value overtakes monetary value every day.
Yeah, and that's what people don't understand.
It's like you, that toy, that General Lee, you would have spent more than the guy that wanted to buy it to resell it on eBay, or the guy that wants to, the General Lee. But you had that when you were a kid, so you had that emotional attachment.
I still have mine. Mine is displayed. It's not displayed right now because we got the Christmas decorations up still. But when I display that, it sits on top of our TV in the living room, the TV cabinet. And then mine sits on top of it with a remote. So they're both sitting there, basically next to each other.
And Andrew just said, no battery, bro. But he texted me.
But he texted you. Rob, I got no battery, bro.
My phone doesn't work, but you were just talking to me 5 minutes ago.
I called it.
Yep, you called it.
It was a happy new year, though. Hey, like I said, if you got to go party with your mom, I said I would try, but like I told you, my mom, she says I cramp her style.
Yeah, well, you're just not cool enough for her.
No, I'm not. I mean, I bring her down like 2 whole levels when I hang out with her. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that guy with the pants pulled up to his chest, you know?
Yeah.
The pocket protector. Uh-oh. He sent me a text.
Real bunk. Oh, I didn't get the text. I got something from him saying that he'll be on Cocky's Flippin' Adventures tonight. Okay. Yeah, we've got, let me look at the thing here. It's 11:54, so we've got 6 more minutes yet.
You're going to hear me scream out there with the kids. I got to kiss the wife. I'll be back in to say Happy New Year.
Yeah, my wife's got to come in here and give me my new
stream. No PDA.
Yeah.
I'm not married.
It's true.
Well, it'll probably be slightly off camera, you know.
I'll be back.
Jeremy, you leaned the wrong way. You needed to lean the other way to get your nose pick off. What's going on with Rob?
Flash mob.
That must be. Now, Jeremy, somebody asked the question earlier because your deadline for the Wicked Witch of the North has come and gone. Anything happening there?
So, made an offer. So, Marilyn offered me her building for a certain price. I counteroffered. Marilyn counteroffered. I counteroffered. Marilyn counteroffered. I counteroffered. And then it sat and it sat and it sat, and Marilyn said nothing. And this is all through lawyers. It's not Marilyn talking to me, and I'm not talking to Marilyn. And so finally I told my lawyer, I said, you need to put a deadline on this. And we put a deadline of December 28th on it so that it would be on 2020's books if anything went forward. But we heard absolutely nothing. So she has not accepted my offer, and that means there is no offer on the table anymore. So it's null and void on her offer, and my offer is null and void. And the update is we still go to court May 10th. So if she accepted the offer, then I would have dropped my counter suit against her, but she did not accept the offer. And frankly, I think she's a fool. I think she's making the worst mistake of her life. But that's not my job to tell her that. That's her lawyer's job. And I don't know what he's telling her, but I don't think he's giving her good guidance.
Well, you said before he's only getting paid out of what she gets out of the lawsuit side of the bill.
Yep. He's going to get paid out of whatever she sells the building for. Now, you have to keep in mind, somebody actually has to want to buy it. So we get a lot of people when they watch those videos go, why don't you just buy it? Why don't you just buy it? You don't make money in real estate buying just anything. You make money in real estate buying the right thing. Yeah. There is so much liability there, which is why I rent. I rent to transfer the liability. So why do I pay a CPA? I pay a CPA to transfer all financial liability. Why do I pay the CPA to do my taxes? To transfer all the liability. I pay to transfer liability. And so I don't want to own the property because there's such a tremendous amount of liability on that property. It's not worth what she's asking for. It'll take hundreds of thousands to get it to where it needs to be. And as of right now, it's what I need in that area for what I do. 4 walls, a roof, a floor. I don't have any utilities, but I don't want the liability that comes with owning that property either. But if I got it for the right price, I'll take it and I'll fix it. But I didn't get it.
Well, you'll probably still get it in the lawsuit, but it's just going to be one of those things that
going through the process, which the lawsuit will be fun to film.
Yeah. Well, May, right? May.
In 20 seconds, unless, of course, you're not on the East Coast, then you have more time and you can do another hour or 2 or 3. But
maybe like an hour.
Time, guys.
We're probably not gonna stay on for like the West Coast New Year because it'll be 3 a.m. here.
Do 1 minute countdown on your phone. 1 minute to win it.
1 minute to win it. And here we go.
Thank you, Adam. Happy New Year to you too.
One minute to go, and George literally just walked out the door and started her car.
And started her what?
Started her car.
Why?
I don't know. I guess she's starting 2021 without me.
Huh.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a little weird, but okay.
She's gone.
Yeah, I don't have the seconds on my phone.
We'll know in a minute. We hear the
the people are shooting off fireworks around here.
My phone just went to midnight.
Mine did too. So happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Fireworks. I get my kiss. See?
No, come on.
Okay.
No, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year.
Did you just get smacked?
Wow.
Thank you, Ronald, for the $4.99 super chat. Happy New Year.
That was intense. Wow.
And you said you'd never get a kiss on camera. Boy, look at that. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. We appreciate all. Now, this is 136 on my thing here, 138. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us for the 3 hours that we've been on.
Us old guys made it.
Yeah. Can you imagine? I stayed awake. I yawned a few times, but I stayed awake for it. And, I can do this again next year. The dog's barking at us.
She has something to say to you.
What does the dog have to say? Oh, she wants out. Go outside and bark at the people and tell them Happy New Year.
Happy!
Thank you, Funky. Happy New Year. Everybody's saying Happy New Year. See? Funky.
Is it just you two?
Yeah, Rob went off to say hi to his wife.
Yeah, you gotta give the wife a kiss. Now, come on. It's how New Year's has to start.
George getting bigger pants.
Some Puga.
Huh?
Rob went to go get some sugar, but I'm personally on a diet. So
Yeah.
2021 got to start it right. I'm on a diet.
Yeah, well, you know.
Oh my goodness.
And here's Rob. Right?
Even the dog's getting down.
Yep.
It's for everybody out there.
And there goes the mic. Oh, so where'd Rob go now?
I don't know, but I don't think Andrew's coming back.
No, he's not. Well, I think we should we do the first prayer of 2021 before we go, or should we?
All right, let's do it.
Should we wait for Rob a few minutes, or where did he go?
He's getting sugar.
Yeah. Maybe he hears us saying, "Where did Rob go?"
You want me to close in prayer?
You're so much better at it than I am, Jeremy.
This is nothing but just talking to God, but I'll close this in prayer.
Okay.
Father, we do thank you for all of the challenges and all of the opportunities and the blessings of 2020. As we start this new year, may we continue to seek you, to chase after you, your will. God, we ask that you guide us, you direct us, and Lord, may we continue to see your face and to see your goodness in all that is around us. Again, we pray this in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say good night to everybody. Happy 2021. Goodbye to 2020, and we will see you on the next live.
Good night, everybody.